on Roku?
No, Ron sent me a message saying he would not be able to be here today. Jason, the Coco Man, can't be here today. He's at a
Ham Fest or something.
ham fest or something like that. So,
They're doing
all right,
live operation.
the light is green. It's looking like we are on the air. So,
Yep, we're on
CoCoTALK
YouTube live.
episode 72 is going live in 3 fingers, 2 fingers, and my favorite finger. And here we go. Hey, Nick Marota's here.
This is CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color computer. Streaming live on YouTube and Roku, available as a podcast and enjoyed the world over. And now, here's your host.
All right, everybody, we are live and we are on the air, and welcome to episode 72 of CoCoTALK Live, the show where we never know what we're going to talk about, and it's never stopped us yet, and it never will. We've already got a huge global audience in attendance already, so Curtis Boyle is in the audience in the live chat, so is Mark Overholzel. Nick Marota is here, Tim Franklin is here, and Rob Inman. And Rob says, let's get this train wreck started. That's right. We are leaving the station. We've got all kinds of coal in the thingamajiggy, and we're heading.
And Rob's subbing off for Jim Brain, who's off to Vegas. Firebox.
So, yeah, and we don't even know what the topic is today. You notice that I don't have a topic listed because we don't know what the topic is. And when has that ever stopped us before?
We've got going to be a long show.
We've got plenty of hot air. We can keep this balloon airborne for hours. So we got a great panel. We've got a mostly great panel here. Let's see. There's a few people here. I'd prefer not to be here, but we won't mention them by name. But
sorry about that.
We have legendary game designer Rick Adams is with us. Can I get a thank you? You're too kind.
Thank you. You're too kind. Okay.
Yes, legend in his
George Carlin sound-alike contest going on right here.
We have legend in his own mind, one of many Canadians. Al Curtis Boyle is among us today. Hello, Curtis. Welcome back.
Thank you. You're not kind enough.
Thank you. G'day. Mark D. Overholzer back from his daughter's wedding and in one piece.
Yay!
And it's your daughter's wedding, not your
sister or
your wife or your mother or your aunt, whatever it was. So, and I found out
something. Yeah, that was
your daughter's name is Madison, much like my daughter's name is Madison.
Yep.
Although my daughter is not getting married anytime soon. She's only 17, so that's good.
Yep. By the way, I have to say congratulations to Mark, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to actually join in at the wedding I was at for my goddaughter, but unfortunately I was out in the farm area, and then I had almost no internet connection at all. I couldn't even watch or listen to the show live. So,
So this is Curtis's lame excuse for not being on the show last week. Is that what it was?
Yeah, and the week before was due to work, so I got 2 lame excuses. Take your pick.
Listen,
There's also the smoke from the forest fires was interfering with the connection too. So
Yeah.
There wasn't back bacon being smoked back there or anything?
It was that Jimi Hendrix song Brown Haze, I think it was.
Nick Marota says if it was your wife's wedding, it would have been awkward. All right, now Brian, help me out with your name. It's Weisler, right?
Yep, that's it. Weisler.
Brian Weisler. You've been with us once or twice for several minutes at a time. Hopefully you'll stay around for the duration of the show today. Welcome, Brian. Maybe we'll put you on the spot here in a few minutes, and we'll play that game. Tell your life story. Put a random stranger on the spot, get him to tell his life story on live television for the internet. We have frickin' Greg is with us. Grant Leedy, what's going on, Greg?
Hey guys, how's it going today?
It is going good. We have Al Hartman with us from Al's Computer Place and all kinds of other corners of the planet. How you doing, Al?
We're doing okay.
Doing okay over there in Jersey. And Tom, speaking of Jersey, here comes Tom C.
Sure.
Yes. Yous guys. How yous guys doing over there in Jersey?
We're okay.
All right. Good. We have with the special guest of the show, Dave Phillipson. How are you, Dave? He's doing
great.
well. All right. I almost cued the crickets, but you got in just in time. Excellent. Thanks for being here. We have my favorite stain, James Diffendaffer, is with us.
Always here to make your head explode and rage quit.
I still think you should make some sort of a Rorschach blot test that looks like a train for all the trains that go through on it.
Yes, his Mandelbrot.
Get no respect.
The Mandelbrot. It took 12 hours to render that Mandelbrot on a Coco. It deserves more mistake.
It took
more
me
respect.
0.5 seconds to do the same design on the way to the wedding on the windshield of my car.
That long.
That's
You know,
Canadians are
you know what was the last thing that went through that bug's mind?
His butt.
His butt, yeah. And we have father of international celebrity, voice talent, artiste, and just all-around talented guy. The father of Jacob Moore, Bruce Moore, is with us. Hey, Bruce, how are you?
Hey, doing good.
And the real star, Jacob Moore, is with us. Welcome, Jacob. All right. So we're here. This train wreck is already in motion. Nick Marotta is here. Everybody say hi to Nick Marotta.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
All right.
We forgot the other
And the other Nick Marotta is here. Which other Nick? Nick Marentes?
Yeah.
Oh, did I forget Nick Marentes? I did, because I'm going around the circle and he's like in the middle of the circle. Sorry about that.
Good day, everyone.
So I did mention there was at least one person on the show I wasn't that crazy about, right? So that
The secret has been revealed.
my senility is kicking in.
Omit.
I had muted anyway because we've got some heavy rain happening right now, so I didn't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
would come through the mic anyway. So I thought, just shut up.
All right.
Don't hear it here at all.
International celebrity,
Just
creator
that
of
lame Australian accent of yours, that's all. So.
yeah, creator of Funstar for OS9, available on ROM cartridge. We have from down under Nick Marentes. Good day, Nick.
Good day, everyone. How are you?
Good day.
Wow.
Thanks for reminding me that I forgot to introduce Nick. Excellent. So we did get Brian to agree to play the game. Let's put a stranger on the spot. So since we don't have Brian on the program all the time, and there are hundreds of people who are dying to know everything about you, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about your former life when retro was new? What did you do? And then what are you doing now in the retro hobby, and how are you getting your retro fix?
Hey, welcome. Yeah, similar story to a lot of folks probably, where back in the early 80s there, getting into computers there and mowing lawns to save up enough money to buy the equipment. Started out with a Coco 2 and then went to the 3. Set myself up with the drives and stuff. But that's how I got started with it way back, and then put the stuff away. But never did much with it after the 90s. It all kind of sat in a box. But it did spawn a career. I've been in IT pretty much my whole working. And just recently wanted to start doing a little bit of Googling and stumbled across what you guys are doing here, and wanted to hop in and join the group. It was always a real joy to play with the equipment and to do things. Was part of a local group here in Iowa, where I'm at, and up here in the Midwest. Been here my whole life, and just wanted to continue and get back into it. It's quite amazing all that has been done since then, and what's certainly happening now. It's
yeah, absolutely. Well, we're glad to have you, and you're also on the Facebook group, right? And so you're chiming in on Facebook from time to time, and you're also on Discord with us, right?
Yep.
So
great communication. I like it.
Yeah. So everybody, welcome Brian to the collective.
Welcome, Brian.
Resistance is futile, right? So
Thanks for being here, Brian.
yes, thank you, you're too kind. I need to get a sound bite of that and put it in the soundboard.
I can help you with that.
Oh, hey, that's great.
Yeah, excellent. All right, well, that's great, and we're not going to put Dave Phillipson on the spot, but Dave, anytime you want to chime in with some stories and some knowledge, whatever, feel free to do that.
Yeah,
Everyone does. Yep.
everyone
Dave
does.
was somebody back in the day, so yeah, we need to hear from him.
Rob Inman says, assimilate him. Yes, so. All right, we're here. Nick, you mentioned you've got a project update for us on
Yeah, I've actually
Gunstar?
I've actually started some code for my game Gunstar. So finally getting past the whole music thing that I've spent so much time on. So I can probably bring up a screenshot if I can remember how to share a screen in this program. Hang on, I'll just bring up where is it? Here and sharing. So can you see that? That's
Yes.
PC's.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's
Ooh.
basically the title page. So
Sweet.
So I've put some graphics together. That's the official title page to the game. The area in between the battle for Earth and press fire button to start, that's going to have the credits, programmed by some idiot from Australia, copyright, blah, blah, whatever.
Right,
and,
right.
And then that'll change to the high score table as well. So this game will have a high score table that is saved to disk.
Nice.
And then it'll go into a demo of the game. But that's the title page now. So the game is now actually starting to take shape. I generally do this part of the game first, the title pages, the high score pages, and everything around it. It develops the framework of the game, and it lets me create some of the base routines that I'll need later on. And once I've got all those parts done, then the actual game itself gets slotted in. But yep, that's my project update for this week.
That's interesting that you do it that order, because I know some other developers actually prefer to get the core game code done and they save the title pages for last, because otherwise they make a fancy title page and they kind of lose interest and they never finish.
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, what I actually do, and you'd remember this, is if there's a specific hard part of the game, like this one here was trying to create the scrolling and a new sprite routine. If you saw the blog, it's in the first chapter, and I wanted to prove that works first before I actually start the game. So I have created some of the basic game routines for scrolling and comparing the scrolling speed. And that was when I was doing all the 6309 tests, if you remember, Curtis.
Yeah.
So I did that first before I start anything, to see if the game's actually going to be possible, or whether I can actually do it. Once I've verified that I can do it, that it looks like it's a go-ahead, then I start the coding, which is usually the high score page, the title page, and the base routines that are wrapped around the game. I also do that as a way of motivation, because the quicker you get some code up and running that you can see, the more interested you are then to keep going, rather than bogging straight down into all the elaborate code. It might take a while to get all the game actually running, to actually visible. So this, to me, is a quick way of getting some graphics up, some part of the game running. So I feel then that, wow, this game's starting to take shape. I'll go ahead and do the game. So, yeah, it's mixed reasons why I do it this way, but I've always done it that way. So, yeah.
It's just interesting, because I know some other developers do it the other way.
Yeah, they work the other way. I tend to.
They want the game first, and they'll add the frills, like music tracks and.
Yeah. I do all that stuff first.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I live upside on the other side of the planet, upside down.
You do everything upside down.
So we do think backwards, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Roger Taylor just stopped in and said, "Hey, it's Funstar."
Now, how do I stop this sharing? Damn thing.
Coming soon to OS 9, Funstar. Is that Starfield? Is that going to be a static image, or will that possibly be
a static image? Because in the game, this is where the music will play.
Okay.
So I've got to activate the music next as well. So it'll be a static screen, because I've got to devote the entire CPU to do the music. Right. Yeah. Okay. So a static page, but I just wanted a nice looking title page.
No, it looks good. So. This looks better than like This looks better than like Space Quest on the Tandy 1000's title screen. You know what I mean? This is like dithering, and you got all kinds of stuff going on there. This looks really good. Nice. Yeah.
You realize, Nick, you've raised the bar pretty high here. I mean, this game better look good. We're going to disown you.
After 30 years, I like to think that I've actually learned something.
We can only hope, right?
The only animation you'll see on the screen will be the line press fire button to start will flash while it's
Okay,
playing.
like kind of pulsing in shades of red.
Yeah, that's all really. The rest is
Yeah.
static.
Like
When the
palette
music
animation.
is finished, when the music is finished, it'll keep the page up, but the text will change to the high score table. And play that for a while, and then it'll go into a game demo mode and play a bit of a demo by itself, like an attract mode,
Right.
and then loop back to the title page and play the music again. So
Okay.
that's the plan so far, anyway.
You developed this on your Amiga, right? Use a graphics
The
program.
graphics I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought.
All right, I'll stop the sharing now.
No, that
Okay.
looks really good. That looks really good. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, that's my project update.
Okay. Oh, who's doing this? Forest of Doom. Return to the Forest of Doom. Return.
A little bit of
Ooh.
concept art there.
This looks like embroidery.
Monochrome pixel art.
Yeah.
Embroidery.
P mode 4.
Looked like looked like embroidery there because you could see like the individual stitchings and stuff in there, the pixels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that back up again. It was on the screen too briefly. Or is that meant to be a super tease?
Here, I can put it back on for a second.
All right. Return to the Forest of Doom.
So I'm with Nick on the idea of concept art as being inspirational.
Yeah.
Like that's about it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Doesn't mean anything's gonna happen, but you know, I put this together. This is like this actually does inspire me. I'm gonna. Who knows? This might turn into a first-person exploration. We'll see.
Yeah. No, that's neat. That's very
And,
cool.
and if you don't, you can always make it into a throw rug because it's already stitched and ready to go.
Well,
So.
yeah. Wall hanging maybe.
Yeah.
Can I get that in a 1 meter by 2 meter?
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So, and I was thinking too, Nick, because I do have a few news articles. A few people have recently just got Popstar Pilot for the first time. And when you get Popstar Pilot, you basically get the entire Nick Marenti's collection. And there's a lot of games Nick has made. And I think I've played all of Nick's games like once. And obviously didn't do very well at them, but I kind of did like the review, and I sucked and I died, and it was game over and end of video. And I was really thinking that I need to spend like a day with the Nick Marenti's collection and just playing the games, because your Space Invaders game is really good, and I know there's a boss at the end that I've never seen, and stuff like that. Your game where you kind of looks like the Xevious, where you're flying over and scrolling and stuff. You've got a lot of really good games that I've really only kind of like dipped my toe in the water on, and I'm sure there's a few more hours of enjoyment out of those games. And so maybe I haven't done it in a while, but maybe like a live stream marathon again of just playing Coco games, and we'll go through and just do the Nick Marenti's collection and just cycle through a bunch of Nick games and play them, and try to promote, hey, if you like these games, you can buy them, type of thing.
And the my last customer for Popstar Pilot you're talking about is actually here live on the show, Al Hartman. Yeah. So I don't know if he's had a chance to play the game yet.
Not yet. I've been trying to get DriveWire running so I could try it.
DriveWire, TTL.
I got the gender changer this morning that I needed.
The what?
You have to be transgender to run Popstar Pilot.
Well, Grant's already been through a gender change. He can give you some insight to that. So
It only looks like a gender change because his gender is upside down.
It's Australian.
It's Australian. Yeah, Rupert Rhymes. We got to play Rupert Rhymes. We've got to play Donut Disaster.
Nick Marenti, Australian for male. So I'm having a problem. My new USB to RS-232 cable is not being recognized by the system. I get a nice little exclamation point. So now we can add to why did Tandy do that? Why did we do that?
Are you running Windows 10 by any chance?
Yes, I'm running Windows 10.
Yeah, there are some issues. I've had several of these USB to DB9 dongles that all stopped working on Windows 10, but I had to order a specific one where the driver was recognizable. And I got the cheap one, so every time I plug it and unplug it, it just sequentially adds itself to a higher COM port every single time. So if you've set your software for COM 7, the next time you plug it in, it's on COM 8, and so on and so forth. So that's what you get for $11 on Amazon. So
the ones we use at work.
One, I guess, because this one not working. Or I've got to downgrade, or maybe it's upgrade my system to Windows 7.
Yeah, upgrade in this case here, right? So
the ones we use at work that seem to work really good on everything from Windows 10 down to Unix is one made by a company called A10, A-T-E-N.
Okay.
They work really good. A10, yeah, they're probably more like $15 or $20, but they work reliably on like everything.
Okay.
I'll try anything.
Yeah, Coco Man's watching us live, and Coco Man can't be with us today because he is at the Ohio QSO party. So let's give a shout out to Coco Man. I was getting ready to share my sound again because whenever somebody else shares, so let's say hi to Coco Man.
Hey, you got your Coco 3 yet?
And I'll show you where Jason is. He posted the link of where he was today. So he's at this Ohio QSO party. Get ready for the 2018 Ohio QP. August 25th, 2018, noon to midnight Eastern Time. Congratulations. So this is where Jason is, and he has mentioned in the live chat that his cell reception out there not that good. So usually when he's on a correspondent journey, he would come in live on his phone or so whatever, but he doesn't have the bandwidth or the connectivity to do that. But hello. Hello to you. Now we just got a question. So Dwayne says, am I allowed to ask what this series is? Yeah, it's called CoCoTALK, and we're a retro talk show. Yes, you are allowed to ask. You just did. So Jason's with us in the live chat. He's with us here in spirit. Richard Lorbieski, Troll Jr. is with us here in the live chat. He's calling me cheap because I bought a cheap adapter, saying cheap is my middle name. Yeah. So you don't have... You don't have a computer with a CD drive and an SD card reader where you can just copy it from the CD to an SD card and put it on the Coco SDC?
I do not have a Coco SDC.
Ah, well, that's a problem.
That's the problem.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's in the future.
Yeah.
Have you got a way of creating a 5 1/4-inch disc?
I do. I would have to go do that, but I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I go into my office to do that, and I'm trying to just do it from where the Coco 3 is with the media computer, rather than going into the office and making a disc.
Gotcha. So DriveWire would be your ideal way of doing it, and you're just having some problems with the connectivity getting that happening.
Yeah, right now I will get it. I'll figure it out. If not DriveWire, I'll make a floppy. I'd have to go into the office to do it.
When in doubt, just reach out to David Ladd. He can get you going. So anything to do with floppies and DriveWire, David's got you covered.
Yeah,
so.
but if you mention DriveWire to David, he goes to DEF CON 1.
he gets into excitement mode.
Rage quits the call.
Anybody else have any type of project update or news they want to share with us before we take a little break here? Acquisitions, anybody get anything new? I know we got Al just got his Popstar pilot.
And Timberman.
And you got Timberman too, huh?
Yeah, because I want to support the Coco software authors.
Sure. We appreciate that. Yeah, here I'm pulling up your picture right now that you had posted in the Facebook group. Al Hartman, I received my copy of Popstar Pilot that I ordered last Saturday.
Yeah,
haven't played it yet. Yep.
Best.
Yeah.
Your Friday, so.
Well, do you have a PC that with an optical drive reader?
Yeah. I've already copied it onto my server.
Okay.
So I can get to it in the office, and I have to use the WinImage program to copy the files off the Coco disk onto a regular floppy. So that will be next.
Gotcha.
I wanted to get DriveWire working because I wanted to. I had it working before on this very computer under Windows 10, but I can't find that serial to USB cable anywhere, and I'm looking and looking.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll get it going.
Yeah, it's recognizing the serial port now. I had to reboot the computer.
Nice. But hey, at least it's working. Hey, Stevie,
yes.
The retro challenge is active. The 2018/09 retro challenge is now open. If anybody wants to.
Yeah. I think I've got that queued up in the news. We would talk about that. Yeah. Okay. Good deal. All right. So Al's got Popstar Pilot. That's a recent acquisition. Anyone else got any acquisitions
Actually, I just thought of one.
Go ahead, Nick.
If you remember last week, I was talking about Window Master, and I was having difficulty getting a version that I obtained running on my Coco 3. Just to recap, I actually own a copy of Windows Master, but the floppy disk that I had with it is corrupt, and I haven't been able to use it for years. So I pulled it out of the archives, and I was wondering about trying to get it up and running because it sounds like an interesting program. But of course, all the copies that I've obtained illegally, let's say the archives, didn't work. So anyway, I came in contact with someone who actually said he has a version 2 of it that works, and it works on his computer, but sent me a copy. Wouldn't work on my computer. Couldn't work out why the hell it doesn't work on mine. It works on his fine, he says. We compared hardware to see what was different between our machines. They were both the same, 6309, 512K, all that. But for some reason, wouldn't work on my Coco 3. Finally found out what the difference is, and I have now got it running. He has a Coco SDC, but the firmware, the SDC DOS on his card hasn't been upgraded. He's still running the old version 1.2, whereas I've kept it all up to date. I think they're up to 1.6. So I with whatever, how I can't pronounce his name, but the fellow who runs the Coco 3 archive, Guillaume,
Guillaume, yeah.
He put up a copy of the 1.2 setup disk, and I installed it as a second ROM image for the Coco SDC.
Okay. So
I can just selectively boot from that ROM. And voila, Windows Master is working on my Coco 3. So now just a matter of having some time to play with it, but success. It does look like a pretty good little program. It actually patches into standard BASIC and gives you all these extra commands in BASIC for doing windowing and things. And it's not too bad speed-wise. It's probably a little bit slower than multi-view on the Coco under Nitrous 9, but overall it's pretty good for BASIC. It's quite powerful. It's so maybe I'll have a better report of what Windows Master is all about. Ultimately, I'd like to convince Bill Vergona, the author, to try re-release Windows Master in a uncopy protected state, and then market it and sell it hopefully for a more reasonable price than what he's currently got, so that more people can buy it or use the program. I also got to find out whether software I can create in this environment can be distributed along with the runtime, so people can actually use any programs that I develop. So work in progress.
That's the same issue we had with Graph Express from Sundog, because they added a bunch of windowing and sprite and multi-voice music routines to BASIC, and the same thing, you had to get permission from them to distribute the runtime. Now I talked to him far later, like not too long ago, and he said actually most of the time he was letting you have that for free. He said only if you were doing some massive commercial game was he going to charge you any small amount to distribute the runtime, but that's not clearly stated in the manual. So I think most people just read that and go, well, I'm not going to distribute something that I have to pay extra just to distribute. So I don't think anybody ever did. And I was going to ask you too, since it seems to be a bug in the later versions of the ROM on the SDC or the firmware on the SDC, have you reported back to Darren Atkinson or anybody to see what happened, if we can fix it for a new version?
No, I have actually emailed Darren when I was looking for the 1.2 update. I haven't heard back as yet, but I could, I'll email to him and let him know what I found, and see if he can work out why it's not working. Because ultimately, that's going to be a problem, even if it does get released, that people can't use the damn thing unless they downgrade their Coco SDC. So that's no good.
Yeah, and then because then you lose streaming and everything else, like some of the stuff that Ed Snyder's been writing wouldn't work. So yeah.
So yeah, what the cause is, I don't know, but at least I have it running. At least this version I've got, it's an old version 2. It's not the latest version 3. Ultimately, I'd like to try get a version 3, but I'm prepared to buy a copy. But the thing is, I'd want an uncopy protected version, of course. I don't have a floppy disk.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my latest acquisition. If you want to call it.
Okay, well that story. Hopefully, will have a happy ending as we continue to work on that. And that was that gave us the title of last week's episode of Abe Vigoda. So it's Bill Vergona is his name.
Yeah,
Bill.
Originally from Las Vegas.
Yeah. And speaking of Vegas, our very own Jim Brain of Retro Innovations is attending some type of electronics function out there in Vegas, and so we may have some correspondence from him later in the afternoon or the evening. He mentioned that if we did an after dark, he might be able to join us and show us what's going on, some Commodore stuff that's taking place out in Vegas. So that might be interesting. Cool stuff.
I just want to mention a little side story on Bill Vergona too. I mean, almost all the stuff that Surcomp, his company in Vegas, distributed were quite heavily copy protected. Now, Chet Simpson, who did Gold Runner 2000 and stuff like that, was also in Vegas, and he was kind of a cocky teenager, and Bill had advertised that nobody could break his software protection. And one story Chet liked to tell was that he actually broke it, and he was like 16 or 17 at the time, and he actually went to Bill's house to hand him a copy of his broken version of the software. Bill was not happy.
Wow.
No.
Wow. That's crazy. All right, how about we do this? We are going to I'm gonna mention our sponsors. We're gonna take a commercial break, and we'll be back. But we got plenty to talk about. Diego has just joined us. Hey, Diego.
Hey. How you doing, guys?
Good. And Dave Phillipson mentioned he had to go. Said I gotta drop off the video for now. The wife is calling. Might join you back later. So thanks for being here for a little bit, Dave. Thanks for joining us, Diego. All right, so let's take a look at some of our sponsors, and then we'll run a commercial break. So we must acknowledge those who are contributing to the color computer community, including the Coco VGA project at CocoVGA.com, Troll Jr., Richard Lorbieski at Boyson Technologies at BOYSON Tech.com, where you can get the Boomerang E2 board and the Paradigm joystick adapters and so much more. Jim Brain and Retro Innovations at go4retro.com. All kinds of cool hardware add-ons for your Commodore, Texas Instrument, and color computers. Cloud9 Technologies, maker of fine color computer hardwares, upgrades, repairs, and peripherals since the last 20 years at cloud9tech.com. Turn an SD card into a bootable ROM pack with the SDpack.com DIY project. If you haven't already gotten yourself an RGB2 SCART cable, get yourself a switcheroo at coco3scartcable.com. Don't forget, we are live on Coco TV on Roku. Thank you to Roger Taylor. If you want to get a cool t-shirt like what Mark Overholzer and I have, and like several others that got these cool Coco Talk and Coco shirts, you can visit the Retro Swag shop at 8. And I think Brian just got one too recently. 8bit256.com. If you want to find out more about the color computer, you can go to imacoconut.com for all your color computer needs. If you want to find out more about how to reach the cast and crew of Coco Talk, visit our website, CoCoTalk.live. Let's not forget the Coco Crew podcast, the show that started off everything. CocoCrew.org. Check them out. Our good friend of the show, Brian Joyce, Nick's neighbor, Extructus Productions at FD501.com. Last but not least, Ed Snyder at the Zipster Zone, ZIPPSTER Zone.com. Ed Snyder, of course, who's the producer of the Coco SDC, the Mini MPI, the Mega MPI, and all kinds of other cool stuff. So check out the ZipsterZone.com. And we'll be back after these words.
Hi, Ron Delvo, Timberman, Coco Fest. CoCoTALK.
We'll return after these messages.
Hi, I'm Bruce Moore, and this is Jacob Morris, gotcha. And we are the Forest of Doom guys, and the Coco Forever guys, and we are CoCoFest, and we love Stevie Stroh.
What if, knowing what I know now, I could go back in time, join Tandy Corporation, and change the course of history? Coco Forever.
How does it feel? I'm still believing.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me. It's Original Gamer Stevie Stroh. You know, gameplay.
To get your copy of a Gameplay Goodness Color Computer Gaming DVD today, head on over to 8bit256.com. There you will find several DVDs featuring color computer gameplay videos by the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh. So to get your very own copy of a Gameplay Goodness Color Computer Gaming DVD, head on over to the Retro Swag Shop at 8bit256.com and tell them the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh sent you.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
We now return you to CoCoTALK.
Thank you, Speech Sound Pack. Thank you. You're too kind. Thank you. Yes, so we got a couple of Bruce Moore clips in there, and CoCoTALK bringing you more Bruce Moore with every episode. Last week, I think we had about 89% Bruce Moore content in that episode. We are going to try to raise that bar each and every week. So we're back, and what's the topic? We've centered in on our Hollywood squares here. We've got exactly 9 people in the panel, so this is great. I'll take Rick Adams to block center square.
I do have something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Let me just show you. I'm adding this to OmniStar. Here's how you can log in. There's a bunch of people here. You can log in as any of these people. So
okay,
I
David Ladd, Curtis Boyle, Mark Overholzer, Nick Marentes, Grant Leedy, Rick Adams. All right.
I'm famous.
Yes. Now I want to take you over and show you the login, and you'll notice this scary looking message.
Yes.
All about, you got to watch out about, penalties under Section 3.02 with risk of arrest and imprisonment. Well, Section 3.02 is in there for a reason. There's a little story that goes about that. I almost got arrested in San Francisco one time due to Section 3.02. Let me turn the camera around again, if you can. There we go. I went to a city park with my wife and our granddaughters and my daughter, and they sent me back to get some stuff out of the car. So I went back to the car, and on the way back in, I got stopped by a policeman, and he pointed to a sign that said, you can't go into this park if you're a person like an adult without a child, and because of Section 3.02. And it's like, well, you can tell what they're looking for there. They want to keep out the funny uncles, that's obvious.
Yes.
So I had to do some quick talk. He said, "Are you alone?" And I said, "Oh yeah," because it's me and a couple of things I got from the car. And at the moment, I'm alone. And he's, I was like, wrong answer. Yeah. So I had to do some quick talking and not get arrested, and then rejoin my group. But I was curious and looked up Section 3.02 of the San Francisco City Code, and what it says is, in black and white, it says you must obey all signs that are in city parks in San Francisco. So there you have it. That's what they were going to arrest me under. That seems like circular reasoning to me. So anyway, that's the end of my item.
Isn't there a song about signs?
Yeah, everywhere a sign.
Sign,
Yeah.
So what if you brought your own sign and put it up in the park?
Now you're just playing the devil's advocate there, Bruce.
Signs? We don't need no stinking signs. Oh, Lord have mercy. We're back. And we have... So, Bruce, do you want to try to spearhead this discussion, this core dump discussion, and how to make a color computer 3 act like a color computer 2? Or I'm not even sure I'm properly going to explain it, but is this a segment we want to try to... a topic we want to broach, should I say?
Well, we could toss the idea around as a core dump. I mean, the idea was, I think behind core dump is you've got something and you don't know how to do it and you're looking for ideas on help or whatever, right?
All right. Well, let me start the infographic here. So we're going to start off a core dump here, and we're going to turn it to the panel, and we're going to see where this goes. We might end up with one of these here, where the train just goes off the rail, but we'll find out here in just a minute here. So, or something. I hate it when these things don't fully loop properly and they don't start when I hit them up again. There we go. We'll do it live. All right. It's time for a core dump. Discussions, solutions, brainstorming. Often hosted by Nick Morentis. This time, possibly by Bruce Moore. Let's get our core dump going here. All right. Well, it's time for a core dump.
Yep.
Hey, Bill Noble has just joined us. Hey, Bill, how's it going, eh? All right, Bruce, you have the floor.
He's doing good.
3 Canadians now, look out. Yeah, so I guess what I was wondering about was running a Coco. Well, let me back up one here. So the Coco 2, I'm not sure at what point in the process, the Coco 2s had 64K RAM in them. Maybe that was from the start, but it was hush or something. I don't know. Maybe anybody know about that exactly?
The Coco 2s?
Yeah, most of them did have 64K, but maybe we didn't.
No, there were some 16Ks. When it first came out, it was offered in 16 and 64K only. It was at the same time the color computer won 64K, the white case.
Right.
But within a couple of years, I think they kind of kicked it over.
Yeah. So the deal with the 64K is it was a little deceptive because the CPU can only address 64K worth of memory space, but we've got the ROMs in there. Your color basic, extended color basic, disk basic, which don't take up, I'm not sure how much space they take up, but they don't take up a whole 32K. So
24K to be
24. Okay. So
yeah, color basic takes 8K, extended basic takes 8K, and then disk basic takes 8K.
Okay. So you've got what is that? 8K left over potentially.
Yeah. Potentially, yep.
Yeah. So you've got 8K sitting there of address space doing nothing. So if you could switch your Coco 2 into all RAM mode and copy your ROMs in there, it should work just like normal, but now you've got that extra 8K you can do something with.
Yeah, there was actually patches for BASIC that gave you 40K through BASIC itself doing that, commercial products back in the day.
Right, so that would move things around.
Yeah, and the Dragon 64 actually had a second ROM that would do exactly that.
Sweet.
When you boot up, you'd just type exec and it would do that automatically.
Nice. Right, so got me thinking about so if I was to make a game that was using BASIC, using just extended color basic graphics and that sort of thing, like that little picture, my concept art I just showed there, that was just PB graphics. Wouldn't it be nice to have access to that extra memory up there? Now the Coco 3 does run in all RAM mode and patches and add some super extended basic, but supposedly Well, the ROMs are still there. The old ROMs are still there. Well, I guess what I'm wondering is, can we somehow downgrade the Coco 3 so it looks like a Coco 2 running in 64K RAM? The point being then, if you write a game that would run on a Coco 2, 64K all RAM, it could also run on your Coco 3. So then you've got, and then potentially the Dragon, right? Is this possible? You know, I've looked at charts, I've looked at things, I see things that say Coco 2 mode. I see that you can switch the ROM in. I've seen these things, but I don't, you know, I've spent part of a day mucking around with them and really not getting anywhere. So theoretically, is this possible? Could it be done?
Yes.
I think so. I think it's yes. I don't know of anyone who's actually used it, but
yeah, I mean the only major difference is that the there's like extra gimme registers and stuff up in the IO area. So if, well, actually that wouldn't be mapped as RAM anyway, though that should be fine. But yeah, basically you'd have to basically copy the Coco 1 and 2 ROMs and the disk ROM if it's present over to your 64K RAM, and then run its initialization routine without calling the super extended initialization routine, which adds all the Coco 3 stuff. So yeah, it should be theoretically possible. I mean, you might have to switch the gimme into Coco 1 and 2 modes so that the SAM and VDG are all set up correctly for how the Coco 1 and 2 works.
Right. And I saw on the Sock Masters gimme page, I saw where there was a compatibility mode there for switching. So I saw that.
Yeah, that doesn't touch basic though. That's just the gimme for how the hardware is set up for addressing video modes and RAM and stuff like that. So that would be part of the solution, but not the whole thing. You'd have to get the ROMs copied over as raw Coco 1 and 2 ROMs and then execute the initialization routines there so that it boots up without super extended basic existing whatsoever.
Right. And I was trying to copy the ROMs. What I did was I had a little machine language routine where it would switch to ROM mode, grab the first couple of bytes, switch to RAM mode, write the first couple of bytes. And I figured if I just did that all the way through,
Well, have you tried any of the 64K? Like, there's a lot of little utilities that basically for 64K machines just copied the ROMs to RAM and then just stopped, and then you could patch basic and everything else for the Coco 1 and 2. Have you tried downloading one of those and just try running it and see if it actually will bring in the original Coco 1 and 2 ROMs? Because it wouldn't have a clue the gimme or the Coco 3 ROMs even exist, so it should theoretically not copy them or run them or anything else.
Yeah, I saw in there's some shareware stuff with T&D software. They have a few utility disks, and I saw there's one called what was it called? RAM 64 or something. There were a couple of things there.
Like Frank Hogg's original one from Color Computer News in '83 had a little basic program you type in that poked in the machine language that just copied the ROMs over to RAM too.
Okay. Well, that would be the first thing to look up. So here it is. Core dump is actually working now.
But I don't know if that's going to work in a Coco 3. I'm just saying that it might work.
I know, but you told me one other place to look, right? So that's certainly worth looking at. Maybe it won't work because something funny with the gimme has to be set first or turned off.
Now,
I don't know.
This is for a program you want to create in normal ROM basic, is it?
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, because you're doing something in Basic 09 on the level 1 OS 9, aren't you? Well, the ROMs wouldn't matter then, would it?
Right. This is another idea. I mean, I've just got a whole bunch of ideas
another one
around here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought that maybe for the Coco 3, if you've got a basic ROM basic program that is bigger than what's currently by default available, why don't you look at programs like Big Basic? I think they're available on the Coco archive for the Coco 3, so you get more RAM for base. It uses the 512K of RAM, so it becomes, well, as it says, it's a big basic. It allows you to write big programs. It does mean that it's specific to the Coco 3, but you might have something in your code that tries to detect, is it a Coco 3? Let's run Big Basic or whatever. If it's a Coco 1 and 2, we'll do the other patches to use the extra 8K.
Yeah, that's an interesting possibility. I suppose another possibility would be, if it's a Coco 3, is just to set up a RAM disk. That for a lot of storage of data and that sort of thing. But I guess I was I was hoping to be able to do something where I could, if I could switch the Coco 3 so it looks like a Coco 2, then I just write it and it just
Like
works.
one routine, one program that does both.
Yeah, one ring to rule them all, and then you've got, so then whatever that was. Spooky.
That was the magic rainbow sheep that just came by to pay us a visit. Yeah, we got a follower called Da Lemons.
Okay. Yeah.
Or Da Dennis or something.
That was just my question there. The idea being that it could run on a Coco 2 or a Coco 3 without having to write essentially two different programs. That's it.
Yeah, and still get advantage of using 64K through BASIC.
Yes, and getting that extra chunk of memory up there for use. Yeah. So that's my idea.
Well,
yeah,
what's the additional data that you need to the extra RAM for?
Well, I was graphics. I was thinking actually.
Graphics.
Yeah, pre-made images, and copying it down onto the P Mode 4 screen. Or
I'm just wondering,
basically a cache for your graphics and stuff.
Essentially, yeah.
Thing is, 8K, is that enough? Even on a Coco 1 and 2? I mean,
it's a page and a quarter.
Yeah, but that's how much graphics have you got? That's whereas on a Coco 3.
Well, that's the challenge, right? I mean, can you, within a Coco 2, can you still come up with something that looks good and runs okay? And there's a bit of a challenge there, right?
There's your famous second layer.
Here we go.
We're back.
Yeah.
The truth is out there. For this decade, it's the second layer.
I'll have to see if I can dig up my CCN Color Computer News, because I don't think those are on the archive yet, or at least not very many of them, and find the 64K Corner, which was Frank Hogg's column at the time when he was promoting Flex, and OS9 was just starting to come out. But he wrote, I think the article was famously called 64K for free, because that's when Tandy was selling 32K upgrades with 64K good chips. And he wrote this program that you could write. He wrote a memory test program first to make sure that both banks worked fine, because not all did at the very beginning. And then he also wrote a program to copy your ROMs to RAM, and then you could muck with BASIC or use the extra RAM that's unused, etc., to your heart's content.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day. That made some waves back then. When he was the guy who kind of broke the news that, hey, you actually have 64K in your computer.
Yeah.
But there's a twist to it, right? So.
Yeah. Well, the twist was that there was a few Cocos that went out with not completely good chips, though I never saw one personally. Everybody I knew that had the 32K upgrade, we tried this program. It worked on every single one. So I think the bad chips was fairly rare.
While working at Spectrum Projects, we sold the 64K upgrades. Nobody ever called us and said, hey, I have a Coco with half bad RAM, so I need to buy new 64K chips to upgrade it, to replace them. Never happened.
Yeah, because basically if the chips were half bad or bad enough that the 132K bank wouldn't work, basically meant the chips were buggered up anyway. So
yeah, I wouldn't have relied on them at all.
Yeah.
Bruce,
I don't know why there was a high and low jumper on the logic board, but supposedly that was that if your bad memory cells were in the upper bank, then you'd set it to low, and if your bad cells were in the lower bank, you'd set it to high. To select which bank was automatically used as the 32K bank when you started the computer. But I never saw one set to the high bank as default.
Bruce, rather than try to increase the amount of free space in BASIC, would a RAM disk help you then? Because you can just get a RAM disk for the Coco 3 that uses the extra 128K or 512K of RAM as a RAM disk, or on a Coco 1 and 2, I'm sure there's a RAM disk out there that uses the extra 64K RAM space, maybe as a RAM disk. So then your program is the same. They're both accessing a RAM disk. It's just the difference is that you need a different RAM disk driver for Coco 1 and 2 versus Coco 3. But once they're initialized, the basic program is talking to a RAM disk.
Yeah, that's got potential. And I haven't heard of a RAM disk for a 64K Coco, but if anybody,
I'm just wondering.
What was the name of the company that did VDOS? Because VDOS was RAM disk for the Coco 1 and 2. Used to have full page ads in Rainbow. I can't remember the name of the company now.
VDOS. Huh.
Now, VDOS is the name of the product.
Okay.
Yeah, there must be RAM disks out there.
Yeah, Paul Martin had chimed in a little earlier too, and I think Curtis commented on that. But Paul mentioned about copying the ROM to RAM into a higher location.
VDOS is on the archive. I've seen it.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
It says you. And so, what were you saying, Curtis? You were replying to Paul's comment about you can swap 32K banks in the lower 32K, leaving the ROM in the upper 32K.
Yeah, that's the Key 264 commercial product. That's what it did back in the day, is that it basically gave you two versions. Well, it kept the ROMs in there, but basically it had some assembly language routines in the high part of memory where you saved it with a clear, that it would switch between two 32K basic RAM banks. You could actually literally have two programs running simultaneously. Well, maybe not simultaneously, but you'd have two programs loaded and running. And if you wanted to switch between them, it just swapped the lower 32K between these two RAM banks and left the ROMs alone on the top.
Right.
But what you want is a RAM disk for the Coco 1 and 2 that keeps the ROMs in place and keeps the lower RAM in place, so it still runs as a normal Coco 1 and 2, but the RAM disk driver would use that upper 32K RAM as a 32K RAM disk.
That's pretty sure what VDOS does. Keys 264 kind of did that because the two basics, I think if I remember correctly, could talk to each other and send stuff back and forth, but I haven't used it in decades, so I don't remember for sure.
I did a quick search just now on the archive, and I see VDOS 1.0 by Dr. Preble's Programs.
Dr. Preble's Programs, yeah, that's the right one.
Okay, so that's worth pulling out and taking a look at.
Hopefully there's a manual.
Well, that's a VDOS. All that came up was the zip file, so I guess we'll see.
And then as far as the disk basic one, I mean, Disto had their one that came with the 512 upgrade that lets you initialize up to two 35 track single-sided RAM disks on the Coco 3 side.
Well, that might be a solution for you because you want one program that works on both. All the only difference is the RAM disks for each piece of hardware.
Yeah, that could do it actually. So
solution. We have a solution in CoCoTALK.
Potential solution. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So you just do a little bit of code that checks Coco 3, Coco 2.
Yeah.
Loads the encrypted RAM disk.
On the archive, there's something called Super RAM Disk Basic Software from Disto.
Yeah, that should be the Coco 3 one if I remember correctly.
And that's all. And there's another RAM disk up there from Color Venture.
Yeah.
But it's also Coco 3.
Yeah, I see that one. Yeah.
And I don't know that it's up here yet. Someone asked me for a good copy of the Spectrum Project 64K utilities disk. So I imaged it and someone checked it. Still waiting for someone to check out all the programs for me. But that has a program called 40k.bin.
Yes, that's one of the ones I was trying to remember the name of.
That one will let you have a 40k basic.
Right.
So I have that, and I didn't want to upload it to the archive until I was sure that all the programs transferred correctly, because the disk did have some read errors when I tried to image it as a disk. So what I did was I used CoCoUtil and copied the files over one by one, and then made a new disk with the files and then imaged that.
But Bruce sounds like he might help you test that. The 40K RAM, yeah, that's the one I was trying to remember that actually basically expanded BASIC to use the extra 8K once it copied the ROMs to RAM so that you had your 24K ROMs copied as RAM images and then an extra 8K for BASIC to use itself.
Yeah, and on that disk is also a printer spooler and something else. I have to... I have the manual actually for it, because I found all of the manuals for all the Spectrum software.
If anybody's got a manual for this VDOS, that would be that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't see one on the archive.
It's not in the zip either, I take it?
Well,
No,
it's,
the zip
it's
just
something
has a
called
disk
info.
image.
There's something called info inside the. So yeah, let's take a look at that. I got it here right now. I'm just loading it in VCC. Run info.
Could be a text file ASCII or something.
Oh, didn't do anything.
Well, I don't know. In the VDOS zip is just a disk image.
I know it got reviewed fairly well in Rainbow, and they used to have full page ads, and there was a pretty good extensive review of it that might even give you some hints as to how to actually work it.
I see here. It says the info just says you have to put in a clear command, H77FF, and then you're supposed to. There's a poke, 150,18. So whatever. I guess that's some sort of hook.
That's a printer, or the print hook, isn't it? 149 and 50, 150. I can't remember.
150. Well, that's interesting. I wonder what that's for.
I'd have to take a look. I might be remembering that wrong.
Huh. Okay. And the disk has VDOS on it and VDump.
Yeah, VDump. If you take a look at the Rainbow ads or the Rainbow review, it'll tell you what both VDump and VDOS do.
Okay, so I gotta go search a Rainbow for an ad to get some info on these things.
Yeah, anywhere from about 85 to 87, 88. I'm sure it's in pretty well every issue.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we're going to have them search through 3 years of magazines just to find one. Hey,
Dr. Preble had full page ads all the time, so it's pretty easy to find.
There's a searchable index for Rainbow too, right? You could,
Yeah, not for the ads.
Rainbow and Hot Cocoa both have searchable indexes.
Yeah, there are searchable versions of Rainbow on the archive too, so just pull up one of those, pick one in like early 86 or something, and just search for VDOS.
Okay.
Hey, Rob Inman is asking a question. Is Greg Zumwalt still around? And if so, has anyone been in touch with him?
I haven't talked to Greg via email probably in about 10 years. I did get a hold of him for a while. He actually gave me permission to put his stuff up. And I think I might have even thrown a few up in the games archive, but he's got so much stuff there, I haven't had a chance to finish that yet. But I haven't heard from him in quite a while.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to get in touch with him. So I want to make sure I understand what your goal is, Bruce. You're looking to have maximum RAM available to a basic program for Coco 2.
Well, I mean,
that's also compatible with Coco 3, right? So
yes, yeah. The idea to write something that'll work. I need some more space for graphics.
Okay.
And the Coco 3, of course, gives me all sorts of space. But if I don't need that much and I'm just using P Mode 4, wouldn't it be great to have it work on a Coco 2? And then you've got the Coco 2, potentially the Dragon, and the Coco 3. It could, compatible with all of them. If I just go Coco 3, it's just Coco 3, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully you find the answer. James Jones just joined us. He says, testing, good. Chat works despite Chromecasting. Okay, so he's Chromecasting. That's cool. I like that Chromecast. That's pretty neat.
The VDOS review is in the September 83 issue of Rainbow.
There we go. Look that
there you go.
September 83. Core dump. See, this is what this community is about, right?
Yeah, flushing people's lives down the toilet.
Yeah.
All about the flush.
There is so much crap in this community. We got plenty to share. So
page 248.
Okay, that was say 83? September 83?
Page 248.
Yeah, of September 1983, you said, though? The education issue?
September 83 Rainbow.
Got it. Okay.
Is that issue page 248 or PDF page 248?
PDF page 248.
Okay. Sometimes they're not synced.
This one it is. It's the same page.
Yay. Somebody do what they were doing.
Excellent.
there you go. You might have a solution.
Yeah. If not, it was fun talking.
That problem has been dumped.
That problem has been dumped. Nick Marotta says, we're number 2. We're number 2.
Calling it dumped rather than solved is probably appropriate, yes.
Yes. Problem dumped rather than problem solved. Good times. All right. Well, seems like you've got a lot of coals in the fire there, Bruce, with different projects and ideas that you're working on, and so far, very few of them have disappointed anyone. So, definitely looking forward to what you come up with next. Return to Forest of Doom sounds interesting. Whatever you're doing in OS 9 sounds interesting. How are we doing on Coco Forever?
Coco Forever, yeah. I actually rewrote a piece of the final dialogue. I was kind of listening to it, thinking through the whole storyline, and I realized, yeah, you know what? This needs to tie up just a little bit better. So I just did that recently, and I'm getting all the timing and the sound effects in. So it's the series is almost complete, and I'm just kind of waiting until people come back from their holidays to start releasing the additional episodes, because it's pretty slow right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good that since they all haven't been released. Here's an idea too. A lot of movies will have like a director's cut or an alternate ending and things like that. So, just some food for thought there.
Director's cut. Well, I am the director.
Yeah.
Paul Barton just suggested checking the data sheet for the 74 LS 785 to see the 32K RAM swaps.
David Ladd just joined us in the live chat too. David Ladd says, "Good day, everybody."
Hello, David Ladd.
David Ladd. Okay. Well, I hope you. Hopefully by next week, we'll have the answer, right? And you'll be able to say, "Well, this is what I did, and this is how we solved it." And
yeah, we'll see. Or else
Okay.
I'll move on to something else. If it's too hard, I'll just move on to something else.
All right. So is this core dump done? Can we flush it?
We can flush it.
All right. This core dump is done. All right. Well, that's good. That was good. Thank you, Bruce, for giving us some fodder of discussion here. How about we take another brief break, and then we can come back. I can review some of the news articles that I've got queued up, and if anybody thinks of anything else in the meantime, we can pull that up too. But good dump. Appreciate it, guys. We'll be back in just a minute here.
Hi, this is Curtis Boyle, part of the CoCoTALK crew of people, and a lot of us are here down at the Coco Fest, having a great time. It's the second day, and we're just about done, so you guys have to come out next year.
Hey everybody, this is Bill Noble, co-author of Nitrous 9. You are listening to CoCoTALK Live, the leading live CoCoTALK show.
Good day, mates. This is Nick Marionettes, author of such color computer titles as Donut Disaster, Rupert Rhymes, and Rockstar Pilot. And I am here today to tell you about the world's most fabulous operating system, OS 9. OS 9 and its current incarnation, Nitrous 9, is the most advanced operating system ever created. And what makes it so good? Ease of use. I find OS 9 so incredibly intuitive that I haven't once cracked open the user manual, and yet I've been able to create such incredible games faster than the time it takes to sing Waltzing Matilda. Using OS 9, I expect my next game, Funstar, will be done this weekend and distributed exclusively on ROM cartridge. OS 9 forever.
Any resemblance to actual events to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
What's going on, everybody? The original gamer Stevie Stroh here, and I want to talk to you about I'mACoconut.com. If you love the color computer like I love the color computer, then you got to visit I'mACoconut.com, your one-stop shop for all of your Tandy color computer links needs. There you'll find links to blogs and podcasts and project sites and emulators and downloads and groups and communities. If you love the color computer, head on over to I'mACoconut.com. That's IMACoconut.com. Tell them the original gamer Stevie Stroh sent you. Coco forever, people.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This year, I needed to give a real family pleaser.
Honey, please help me with this budget.
How about a new game, Dad? Please.
And I found it. Radio Shack's Color Computer 2. On sale for just $99.95. It entertains, educates, manages. It's expandable and affordable. Now that really pleases me.
The Color Computer 2. Sale priced for Christmas. Only at Radio Shack.
All right, well, we're back. Don't forget to get your Color Computer 2 for Christmas at Radio Shack while supplies last. Very cool stuff, very cool stuff. David Ladd, I know you're out there, and David Ladd, we miss you. It is not the same without you. He says his wife is a nag. Nick Rhoda says, I got to get a computer and take care of these whiny kids and my nagging wife. Here you go. Take a Coco and shut the F up. So, hey, Skittery Camp in Mixer says hi. Hey, Skittery Camp, how are you? All right, so we got some news articles that have been suggested to us. So we can talk a little bit about that. So how about we cue up some music from L. Curtis Boyle here. Woo! Yeah! Rock out! Yeah. So we are dangerously close to 11,000 downloads on the podcast version of our show. So keep on listening, keep on watching. In addition to being live on YouTube and replayable on YouTube, we are available wherever free podcasts are sold. So search for CoCoTALK on your favorite podcast player thingy, and you can find us and you can hear us and listen to us and watch us and do whatever you want to do. You can take us in the bathroom and listen while you dump if you have to. We are just available at all times. One of our foreign correspondents, Jason the Coco Man Reichert, is unable to be on the show today because he is at the Ohio QSO party. And this is where all the cool kids go to hang out and smoke cigarettes and make fun of all the computer dorks. They come to this, what does this say, ham radio, amateur radio operator type deal here?
I believe so.
Yeah, and so that's where Jason is. And so I'm surprised that Tom C is not there too. Tom's probably listening to Packet Radio right now. So very cool stuff, ham radio. It seems to be a lot of similar interests. So people who are into the retro and vintage things, a lot of them also are amateur radio operators too. So I think there's some similarities of old computers and old ham radio technology. So
yeah, well, I used to be able to do like WeFax weather maps and stuff through ham radio on the Coco, so you could view weather maps back in the 80s.
There you go.
Amongst other things.
We are smack dab in the middle of a retro challenge. So Retro Challenge 2018, the September edition of this, it is open for your entrance, right? And so I think I know a little bit about Retro Challenge, right? You got 30 days to do a retro project, and whatever that project is, it kind of doesn't matter. But you got to blog about it and track it, and then at the end, it will be judged and prizes will be awarded. Is that a fair oversimplification of what Retro Challenge is? Okay. And so our very own John W. Linville has taken on the mantle of kind of hosting this and being one of the judges for this. And so, John's just got... What's that?
More like herding cats.
Herding cats, yeah. So your project could be restoring an old system. It could be just cleaning up your collection. It could be, working on a program, whatever it is, hardware, software. There really aren't that many rules or restrictions on what the project can be. You got to be doing it yourself. You got to blog about it, document it, and it's got to be done within 30 days. One of the retro challenges, one of the winners from our very own Coco community was Brett Gordon, right, who made the Global Thermal Nuclear War, which is a very cool multiplayer Coco game that used IRC and I'm assuming DriveWire, right, to get out to the internets to talk to IRC. So used an IRC chat room to send messages back and forth. And so it allowed multiple color computers to play kind of like the tank war style game where you're shooting the artillery duel back and forth. And, the only intelligent move is not to play when it comes to global thermal nuclear war, right? But I'm not saying don't play Brett's game, but let's not play real nukes, all right, kids? Nukes are bad, okay? So Brett Gordon was a Retro Challenge winner. All kinds of cool stuff going on. Did Farfall win a Retro Challenge one year, John Linville's game? I don't remember. But check it out. The website for this is retrochallenge.org. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm not sure why someone would want to do a retro challenge, but if you do, then if that scratches your itch, then yeah, that's good. It's little insider humor there. Yeah, so check out Retro Challenge. And then we got some stuff from Facebook, and I think by this time Nick already has the answer to this question, but Nick, our very own Nick Marentes, not Nick Marotta. He asked a question about standard disk basic for the Coco SDC. Now, instead of putting the actual disk basic on a ROM, you just got an older SDC ROM and solved the problem, Nick?
Yeah. A proper 1.1 ROM basic probably would have done it as well, but I couldn't find one, and I didn't have time to try work out how to dump one to the Coco SDC. Guillaume or whatever his name is on the Coco archive
Guillaume.
sent me the proper setup discs for the 1.2, and I tried that and it's working, so I stopped there.
So here's a quick dumb question. How do you selectively boot to different ROMs in a Coco SDC? Are the dip switches involved at that point?
No, you say run at, and then you've got various flash memory banks on the Coco SDC. I can't remember how many. 8. Say there's 8 of them, 0 to 7. There is 8. Okay, so if you've copied, say, version, as I've done, I've copied the 1.2 ROM into bank 1. So when I turn my computer on, it boots up into the latest version, 1.6. I type run at 1, and it just reboots the computer with the image in bank 1. Up comes version 1.2, and then I can access my SDC as per normal.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Now, will it stay that way, warm and cold, or like if you were to power cycle?
I can turn the computer off because you've written the ROM into a flash memory. It's like a rewritable ROM, essentially.
Yeah.
So, every time I turn on my Coco, it'll always boot into whatever ROM 0 is.
Okay, so
jump to whatever other bank.
There you go. That was my question. Like, if you had switched to @1 and then you power cycled, would it reboot to @1 the next time because you switched, or does it always boots back to 0?
To 0. That's
so
right.
If you keep the latest ROM in bank 0, you'll always boot to that. But if you've got alternate ROMs in the other 7 banks, you can manually ride to them.
As I know, there's dip switches that let you force it to another bank.
Yeah. There are dip switches to set.
Okay, because I was aware to some degree that the dip switches would also switch it between Coco mode and Dragon mode. So if you wanted to use the Coco SDC on a Dragon, you had to do a few things there.
You only need 3 of them for the 8 banks. So.
Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. And I remember one of the guys who posted a video. I forgot what he calls his videos, the Retro Garage or something like that. But he does the whole solder tricks. He's got very nice produced videos where he did a Coco SDC video, and he mentioned that you could load like even ROM cartridges into some of the flash banks, which I had not really thought about doing. But technically, the Coco SDC is almost like a little mini Coco Flash, where if you wanted to, you could load up a handful of ROM cartridge images in there, and then boom, 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 just boot to one of those. Pretty cool. Yep. All right, so you've got an alternate SDC Coco DOS image that solved your problem with the Windows Master, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you run the firmware update software thing for the Coco SDC, it'll actually ask you which ROM slot you want to put this into. And sometimes you do that as a backup in case something goes wrong. You throw it in a different slot, make sure it works, then you can put it on your primary.
Yeah.
You can put all kinds of versions in there if you wanted to.
Cool. That's a good idea. This is also probably worth showing off, but friend of the show, Hugo Defort, is revisiting one of the games he showed us a while ago. He showed some mock-ups and some animations on this, but I guess he's back to the drawing board and he's writing sprites and drawing sprites and stuff like that. So he's got some different animation cycles for his characters. He's got 2 different animation cells for walking versus attacking. And these are some really interesting looking characters. I'm not sure what world he's bringing us to, but this is a world I think I'd like to visit. We've got birds and snails and looks like a freaking, I don't know what, they got some of the weird little monsters with teeth and mushroom-headed 3-eyed freaks and all kinds of stuff here. So this is pretty cool looking. And we mentioned Hugo last week too, because when we were talking about the Window Master, Hugo's been working on a library that also has dialogue boxes and fonts and radio buttons and stuff, where he's been working on that and showing us some screenshots of that. And so right now here's some artwork from Hugo, and it looks good. Do you remember what the game was called? Wasn't it called something like Kim Possible or something like that? I don't remember, but he had showed some earlier animation tests and optimizations to it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the main character even had a boomerang that it threw, but it looked kind of cool.
Was that
I don't.
Fire?
No. This is Hugo DeFort. Hugo showed us. Oh, you mean the comment?
The boomerang one. I thought that was a Paul Thayer game. Maybe
That part I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just I'm trying to remember now. That's a scary thing. But I remember Hugo showed us some
year and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it was kind of cool. And so it would be interesting to see where he takes this project. I mean, we definitely need as many people as possible cranking out some, games and programs for the Coco. We got plenty of hardware. We need more software. Got to have more cowbell.
These graphics are very well done, though. I'm quite impressed.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with only 16 colors, too. I mean, this is a 16 color palette out of this total of 64, and these colors look pretty damn good. I'm assuming
went to count them because I couldn't believe it that he was doing that with just 16 colors.
Yeah.
And he's so humble about it. It's like, oh, heck, I'd hire him. Those look great.
Yeah. I'm assuming everything that's blue would end up becoming a transparent masked out. So he's even looking
15.
like... Yeah, so, and you can notice there's a black pixel around his sprites. So his sprites are actually outlined. So if they were going against a colored background, they would have a 1 pixel black border around them so that they wouldn't get lost in the background either. So that's pretty cool. So instead of using black as a transparency, black is a foreground color here. So the blue would get masked out. So yeah, he's only using 15 available colors against
fixed
the background.
15 color palette he's using too. Like he's not dynamically changing between the sprites on the screen for different levels or anything, which you could do. That's all based on a base 15 color palette he's chosen. It's very well done.
Okay. All right. So that means these colors would also be used in the background of the game too. No, I like it. I think it looks good. So hopefully we'll see more of this. I'd like to see some animation demos and hopefully a playable game at some point in time. Here, is this a newer one? This one looks like it's got even more pictures in it. So this one's got now 4 cells of the snail here. We've got this guy here, looks like he's flying. We've got this little foofy cat looking thing here. So yeah, we've got 4 versions of every sprite now. So 2 of them are 2 walk steps and then 2 attack steps, I guess, for every creature here. It looks good. It looks very... he did mention that these kind of remind him of Pokemons now at this point, but I couldn't tell you what a Pokemon was if I saw it. But yeah, I think it looks cool.
Actually, more like Mario.
Mario-ish, yeah. So there's a handful of comments in there. Paul Thayer, who's doing some Coco projects too, is chiming in there. So you might want to check that out in the Facebook group. Here's a post from Adam Kulich, who is just kind of commenting on the fact that he's got his switcheroo cable now. And so he's saying, look how good the Coco 3 looks RGB mode on a modern display. And that is so true. So look at these colors. Again, with only 16 colors, you know, in the right hands, you can do something good. So Thexter looks pretty good here. And so, yeah, Adam Coolidge posted this in the Facebook group, and it looks good. And another satisfied customer from Jason's switcheroo Coco3 SCARTcable.com. Cool stuff. Who else here among us has a SCART cable, SCART to RGB cable on their Coco right now? Handful of us? Anyone?
I've still got several RGB, CRT monitors. So until those burn out, I probably won't because I've had enough right now. But yeah, eventually I'll get one.
Yeah.
Mine's on.
I bought it. But the HDMI SCART adapter that I could get here doesn't work with it. So need to wait till I can get a different adapter.
Ah.
I think I was Jason's first customer at Coco Fest.
Yeah, cool.
I snapped
Last year, not this year, but the year before.
Yeah. It's as soon as I saw him, I said, "You got a cable? Here's my money."
Yeah, take my money.
Yeah.
Now this is not necessarily a Coco project, but it's retro related. But there is in the works, and I'm a little bit more excited about this than I would be against the Atari VCS, the Vaporware new Atari console. But this is a new an improved ColecoVision that's being produced by a company called Collector Vision. And Collector Vision has been making some new brew stuff for the ColecoVision market for a while. One of the things that they had made before was something that would plug into, if you guys are familiar with the ColecoVision, it had this expansion module in the front, right? And the first expansion module was the Atari 2600 game adapter. I think there was another one with the steering wheel that lets you play turbo. I think another one gave you a trackball. And then they had one where it was actually the Atom computer, too, that you could add on to make your ColecoVision a computer. Well, CollectorVision had made an add-on for that port that was called the Super Game Module, and it added an extra sound chip, it added more RAM, it added extra graphics capabilities. And that cartridge, that add-on module, that was about $100, but it was pretty highly coveted because there was a lot of new brew games that would take advantage of that take advantage of more RAM, and it would let the ColecoVision play a lot of games that were designed for the Atom computer that needed 32K of RAM and stuff like that. So they basically baked that into a brand new generic ColecoVision. This thing will still take cartridges. It will take an SD card so you can load in your ROMs. It uses the same joypad connector, so you can use the old 9-pin Atari and Coleco style connectors. It's got the updated F18 board, which a lot of people are adding to things like TI systems and other things like that. So it's got HDMI out. It's a really cool system, and I think it's going to sell for about $200. And so I think for the amount of and just that upgrade cartridge was like $100 to $120 upgrade. So you're basically getting a full-blooded ColecoVision with upgrades and HDMI out, new technology, for around $200. I think that's pretty cool. And this is something, obviously we would love to see something like this in the Coco, where we had a brand new Coco with HDMI output that we could just pop a cartridge into. I don't know that we'll ever see something on that level, but this shows you what can be done to fuse the old and the new and have backwards compatibility and some forward compatibility too, with things like SD cards and upgradable firmware and HDMI out and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit excited about this because that was my first console system I ever got, was the ColecoVision. So there is some fondness and nostalgia there for me on that system, and that's Collector Vision Games. And so not a Coco project, but it is it's a cool retro project, and it just shows you what can be done. And if you think about, do you guys remember when they were talking about this Atari VCS, the vaporware console that's supposed to come out, which I don't know if it's ever going to come out? You look at what quote unquote Atari was doing versus like a smaller kind of homebrew companies doing. This is the right way to do it. This is a quality product. It's based on proven technology. All the parts they're talking about pretty much already exist, and they're putting together in a reasonable price point. So I hope that they succeed with that. And that would probably be a customer.
It's not just the retro console, which I think the Atari one basically was, where it just plays all the old Atari games, but it actually has these add-ons. You can do future games on it too, where you have some extended hardware, like you said, the extra sound chip, etc. Yeah, and that extra sound cartridge, or that extra cartridge they added to the ColecoVision, that allowed the ColecoVision to play a lot of MSX ports because it had the exact same sound chip that was on the MSX. It added more RAM, more graphics, and it has the same Z80 processor. So a lot of people were porting MSX games to ColecoVision with that Super Game module, and so this would allow that functionality too. So to me, that's just kind of like what a modern retro console should be, right? It should be a mix of both modern and retro, exactly what you said.
Yeah, and that's what Kyle says too. Kyle just chimed in, says, yeah, this is what the VCS should be. Now, the VCS does not have any type of interface. I don't know. It's got USB ports, I think, but they weren't going to suggest or support cartridges, I don't think. And the VCS was going to play retro stuff via digital download and newer modern stuff via internet stuff too, supposedly. But I haven't heard too much about the VCS update in a while. So who the hell knows? So that's the news I came up with this week. Anybody else got anything worth talking about going on in the world of retro this week? No? Slow week? Quiet week? Cue crickets? Oops, that's the vomit. Hold on. I got two buttons.
What are those crickets eating, man?
What was that?
What was that, Diego?
What are those crickets eating?
Yeah, what are the crickets eating?
Those are crickets infected with plague or something. I don't know.
Oh, Lord have mercy. There was something else I was going to bring up as a host discussion topic, and now I can't even remember it. I think this is going to be a light show and a short show, and that's fine. I don't mind it being, we don't always have to be 3 hours. We're coming up on an hour and a half, and from what it sounds like, I think we're out of material.
Well, Diego might show us the outcome of his program. You know how he had all those problems with the sprites flickering. Well, he's finished that, so maybe he could show us the finished product.
I can do that.
If that fits into the show.
Sure. Yeah, we need content at this point. We're stretching.
I can show you that, and I can show you a couple other things I'm kind of hoping to work around. I'm thinking about cheating a little bit on the this contest we just mentioned.
Retro Challenge.
Retro Challenge?
Yeah. Because I want to do something there, but I already kind of started. So
right. So is one of the rules of Retro Challenge that you need to start it when the challenge starts? Like you can't take a project that you're halfway done with and say, "Hey, I finished this in 30 days." When you get 9 months into it and you spend the last 2 weeks at Retro Challenge.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You really shouldn't. I only have a screen.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I entered Forest of Doom. He took my entry, but wasn't really sure if it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to start writing the blog or anything.
Yeah, the thing that kills me is the blog thing. I don't have time to write blogs. I don't have time to code half the time.
That's the biggest challenge. I mean, the time that you're using writing the blog, you could actually be doing your Coco stuff, your programming project. So you got to consider the.
This is why Nick's games take a couple years to make. Blogging.
Or more.
Okay. It's because I have my. Now my computer is frozen. There it goes.
Hello, computer.
Yeah,
is this thing on?
Yeah, actually, I have my. I can get to work both my PC and my Coco. I have them both in front of me, and I've been having problems with both of them. Actually, with the Coco, is that I use a video capture USB thingy, and it's coming apart. It's breaking. It's opening up. So
yeah, look at that.
I need to buy a new one.
It looks like a hardware project right there. So
okay, let's see. How was this? The sharing menu is here. Starting screen sharing. Okay.
This is what happens when you put somebody on the spot. They're not prepared for it.
Run a commercial while he's setting up.
Hey, we can do that. I like to watch him struggle. It's fun. So.
But he's almost there now.
There we go.
Yeah, it looks like it's there.
Try the one that says "Run Me."
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I was looking at which one I was supposed to run.
The latest Furious Felines. This is looking good.
Nice semi-graphics.
Yeah, I did this before the online SG tool.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
you're right.
Yeah, for the next game, I'm using that tool. Okay, so one thing that I added, it has an option to play composite or RGB.
Nice.
Yeah, and because the music can be a little bit of a pain, every few notes it checks to see if you're pressing a key, and if you're lucky, it will skip it.
This is really good, though. I love how you can see what's going on here with the screen being generated like this. Cat morale 99. How does cats lose their morale?
when one of them hits a wall,
Ah!
they lose a little bit, and if one of them lands and fails to catch the mouse, they lose more.
Ah, that's interesting. Okay,
So that's kind of the way to have lives.
Boing! And here's the cat flying through the air. Yeah, you got the flicker.
It's not as bad as it used to be. It's a little bit better. Couldn't get completely rid of it, but it's a little bit better.
Now, how do you know how far each cat's going to go based on the heavy, medium, or light? Okay.
Right.
So depending on the distance, you would use a combination of one of those, right?
Right. The lighter the cat is, actually, the higher they will fly, and it's the wind that moves them to the right. So if it's going very high, the wind has more time to move it.
Okay, so a strong wind would take a light cat further down the thing,
That's right. That's
okay, so light cats will go higher in the air, and then the wind can travel. So the lighter they are, the further they can travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
So if
in
you-
some of the other levels that you have higher walls, you may need
The
to
harder they fall.
you need to try to find a cat that can jump through over a very high wall that might be very far or very near, and that's where you kind of get some strategy out of it. And they're breaking the wall a little bit. The mouse is breaking the wall a little bit each time it goes towards the cheese.
Oh, so every time it hits there, so that's going to get it closer to breaking through to the cheese.
Yeah.
Now, can that cat move again, or is that just a miss?
No, that's a miss.
All right, so now your cat morale has gone down a little bit because he did not get the...
That's right.
Now you want to wait for the mouse to go further off to the right before you attack, or...
Yeah, or you can try to change the cats that you're using. Use one that will jump closer and
Get him! Get him!
Got it.
Yes! Got him. That's pretty cool.
Level 2 completed.
Level 2.
You'll never see that again.
You can actually download the manual, and it has the walkthrough.
Okay.
I played it so with each possible value of
Oh.
wind, you will see which cats you have to use.
Okay.
So
How many levels do you have in it?
I have 8, but the levels are very easy to write. It's a separate file, and you just need to give it the coordinate, the starting horizontal position of each wall, and how high they're going to go, where the mouse is going to start, how fast it's going to move, and where's the cheese.
Okay.
So if anyone wants, it's not that hard to, create.
You almost feel like you could almost do like a level editor.
I was thinking about doing that. I was actually thinking about doing that, perhaps with semi-graphics mode or something like that.
Don't hit the wall.
Ooh, very close. Oof. I missed
Bouncing off the wall. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they land on top of the wall, they will go to one side or the other. And if they hit the wall, they will jump. There you go.
Oh, you got him. You ricocheted. Pretty cool.
And then let me give you a little sneak peek.
Uh-oh. Sneak peeks.
Oh, yeah. Let me see, how do I change what I'm sharing? That's going to be the tricky part here.
All right, well, then I'll run a commercial while you figure that part
Okay.
out. All right, guys, we'll be back in just a second. CoCoTALK will return after these words.
Hi, this is Dale Lear, designer of TRS-80 Color Baseball, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
Hi, this is the award-winning Alan Huffman of Subita Software, and you're watching Stevie fall off cliffs.
Hey, have you got your Coco 3 yet? Hi, this is Rick Adams, author of Temple of Ram and Shanghai, and you've tuned into CoCoTALK, the nation's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy color computer.
What's going on, everybody? Original Gamer Stevie Stroh here, and if you're a fan of vintage computing and retro gaming, then you're going to love our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. There you will find custom designs by Instagram artist Joel M. Adams. You can get I'm a Coconut, CoCoTALK, and other cool video game images on a t-shirt, coffee mug, or mouse pad. So if you love retro, then head on over to the retro swag shop at 8bit256.com today. Tell them the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh sent you.
Radio Shack has a great gift idea for the whole family. Fast action TV games, and they're on sale. Get this 6-game model for $29.95 or the 4-game model for $21.95. With rising entertainment costs, it's a real bargain. You play hockey, tennis, squash, and more. Easy to hook up and great family fun that lasts all year long. The sale price TV games.
How's it going, Diego? You getting there?
Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Gee, they're out of business.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowan, and you're watching the Original Gamer, Stevie Stroh. And when you're done watching, come over and listen to the Coco Crew podcast.
Hi, this is John Linville.
And Neil Blanchard.
We are the Coco Crew. I hope you're enjoying watching Stevie Stroh play video games, especially the Coco games. And when you're done with that, check out our podcast at cococrew.org.
What's going on, everybody? It's me. It's the Original Gamer Stevie Stroh, and I want to talk to you about our talk shows. So some of you are probably aware of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color Computer, which we've been doing right here on this YouTube channel for, over a year and a half, and over 10,000 podcast downloads and 30,000 views of the live stream. It's been a pretty popular show, and ironically, it's about an old computer that's 30 years old that most people don't know about, and still, it's been a fun, cool show. So what's happened is that CoCoTALK has evolved into CoCoTALK After Dark, which is kind of like the adult drinking game version of the show. Very fun, very fast, very loose, but still good times. And CoCoTALK After Dark has now evolved into 2 other shows now that I think are going to be of interest to a lot more people. So we're going to have a Retro Talk show that is about all kinds of vintage systems and retro gaming consoles and whatnot. And then we have another show that's called Geek Talk that is going to be about anything cool. So if you're into like movies and comics and collectibles and the Marvel Cinematic Universe or collecting Funko Pops or whatever it might be, Geek Talk might be the show for you. So if you'd like to join a live talk show and either be on the show with us and talk with us or be in the live chat, anyways, if you like talking about cool stuff and fun stuff, join us on a future live talk show right here on this Original Gamer channel, and we'll see you there, and let's talk.
Some people have big plans after school. You know what Elliot's going to do? Jeff, too. Elliot's at work on a book.
Diego, you getting it going, or are you stuck?
It hooks up to his TV. And Jeff's at his Radio Shack Color Computer 3 playing the newest football game.
I'm ready.
But wait, what's Elliot
You ready?
doing playing New Super Pitfall? And
Go ahead and pull it up so it's
Jeff's
ready.
with a new math tutor.
I'll switch over to you as soon as you're done.
Try with more than 100 programs for fun and learning. Radio Shack's Color Computer 3 comes with everything you see here. Other items each sold separately. Only at Radio Shack.
Can you see this?
We're switching back. All right, we got somebody. A Master 04 is now hosting my stream. Thank you. Okay, so what were you saying here now? Hippo Teeth.
Right. This is one of those handheld LCD games that I
Yes.
years and years ago. And I was looking and thinking, hey, maybe I can find it on eBay, use somewhere, pay a few bucks and play it again. I remember playing it a lot and having a lot of fun. And the only one that I found on eBay, they actually sold it for $165. So that kind of ruled and said, no, I'm not going to spend that money on that. So I said, okay, let's do it for the Coco.
Oh.
So, yay.
Look at this.
This is what I did with the SG tool.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't dare to do it that way. So it's going to be the first game that I write in years and years that's not going to be using Coco 3 graphics.
Okay.
And I hope that, even though it's still in BASIC with this little graphics, it's going to go fast enough. Doesn't have to have a smooth animation because the LCD thingy didn't have any animation.
Right. Yeah, it jumped from cell to cell from different locations, right?
So, yeah. So
this way it can be MC10 ready too because you're using the low res graphics.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's a good point. Yep, should be easy to move around.
And what's the object of the game? To clean you have to clean the mouth of the hippo?
You play the little guy here, and the hippo only has 3 teeth. I mean, he's been going through rough times, and there's this little bugger that's trying to eat those. So you gotta spray it, but the hippo keeps moving the tongue in the middle and blocking your shots.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to add that wasn't in the original game is what I'm going to do is that if you spray in a place where the bugger is not there, the hippo's going to try to move the tongue there to kind of block the spray and make you a clean shot. Otherwise, you just need to wait till away and there's nothing you can do.
Okay.
Okay. So since
very cool. That's cool. So this is
to talk about.
This is a sneak preview of that.
Yep.
Gary will have this ported to the MC10 and post 10 minutes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. You bet he will.
That's cool. That's cool. So coming soon to a Coco near you will be what's the game called? Hippopotamus Mouth or something? What was the game called?
The Hippo Teeth.
Hippo Teeth. There you go. Hippo Teeth. So you are like a veterinary, a zoologist, dentist. You got to clean the teeth of the hippo and avoid his angry tongue.
Right.
It almost sounds like an After Dark episode. I was going to ask Diego, this would be a prime candidate for the Coco VGA to do a high-res, quote-unquote, version of it at 64 by 32 with the same graphics characters. Have you given any thought to that, or do you have a Coco VGA?
No, I only have a Coco 3. So, and I don't think there is a way to emulate it, right?
To emulate a Coco VGA, to my knowledge, I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Because I've been thinking about all the new hardware that's out there, and if you want to write a game that will take advantage of it, you need to buy the hardware.
Yep.
Just have it. And sometimes, I mean, I just can't afford it with shipping.
Sure.
Even if you sell something for $15, I can't.
Yeah.
So if there was a way to emulate that, I know that for the Game Master cartridge, you can emulate it in MAME.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Right.
All the other new stuff.
And XROAR as well. I believe XROAR can emulate it too, the Game Master cartridge. Yeah. I plan on doing a version of Cosmic Aliens to take advantage of the Coco VGA. I think that'll be interesting with those programmable characters, where I can make little aliens that are actual text characters that should be able to get a decent amount of speed even out of basic.
Yep. And a higher res screen res too, where you got double wide and double high.
Yep. So I'm hoping that, I don't know if, hopefully by the end of this year, I might be able to get with Brendan Donahue, maybe by Tandy Assembly. Hopefully, if finances are good enough, I can bring a Coco and have him do an upgrade to it there at Tandy Assembly and be able to play with that. Cool stuff. Looks good, Diego. Thanks for sharing there. I don't have anything to show, but I have something to share to tell. This is a plan that I'm hoping to have executed because, actually, let's do this. Let's go over to events real quick, and let's get some more Curtis Boyle music here. Yeah, rock out, baby. So the next two events coming up are going to be VCF Midwest in September 15 and 16, and then after that comes Tandy Assembly. When you look at the presentation, I will be giving a presentation on Sunday called Cosmic Aliens Then and Now, and so it's basically going to be a little, I think I got about a half hour to talk. I'll be showing off some of the screenshots of the original MS-DOS version and show some of my development tools and show the current Coco version. I've got a few more things to do to the current Coco version of Cosmic Aliens to kind of put in most of the gameplay of the original DOS version. I think the last thing I need to add is the UFO bonus round where just you have a fixed amount of time and UFOs fly by and you just shoot them for points. So I'm going to try to get that implemented in a little bit. And then basically I'll have most of the core gameplay elements of the original, and then I'm going to consider the Coco 2 basic version done. I'm not going to try to beat that one to death because that's not the beginning. That's not the end of my journey. It's the beginning of my journey. What I'm hoping to do, though, with that same version, before I move on to newer versions, is I want to go ahead and do a speech sound pack version of that as well, because the speech sound pack emulation is built into MAME. I'm using MAME, and I was planning on demoing this on a Coco Pi, and I also have the real hardware to try this too. So I'm thinking about taking the exact same version, but then rather than using the play command, I'm going to try to make some music and sound effects through the speech sound pack, and I'm basically going to reverse engineer whatever's in those demos that came with it, because the demos give you music and the demos give you sound effects. And so I'm going to take that code and just recycle that and tweak that and add some, slightly better explosions and laser fire sounds to the game. And so, and that'll be it. So I'm hoping to be able to reveal that. I'm not going to do any video showing that off until after VCF Midwest. So the reveal of the speech sound pack version of Cosmic Aliens, if all goes well, will be revealed in my presentation as well. And my table, my exhibit, is going to be having a real Tandy 1000. I have a project I have to do, which is get things onto a floppy. I'm going to try to use a Coco 40-track floppy on a PC with a cable so I can make MS-DOS floppy disks. Haven't done that yet. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. So I'm going to copy Cosmic Aliens to floppies so I can install it and run it on the Tandy 1000. So my exhibit's going to be the original MS-DOS version running on a Tandy 1000 and the Coco 2 version running on probably the Coco Pi, although I could bring a Coco. So anyway, so that's my exhibit, and I guess the news that I'm telling you now, but I'm not going to show you, is that I do plan a speech sound pack version of that, and then the Coco 2 version's done. Then I'm moving on to Coco 3, Q Basic, assembly versions, all that kind of stuff. So that ties into the events. What else do we have here at VCF? We have Jos Brez Ben Sadan, the RCA 1802 microprocessor. Craig Erster, Jim Drew's Supercard Pro Series. Thomas Cherry Holmes is going to be showing off Play-Doh and Errata online, so that'd be cool to see that in person. Geocom, a basic compiler for GEOS. Mike is going to be doing the history and technology of the SCELBI computer business. I have no idea what that is. They have an auction similar to the no minimum bid option of CocoFest. Showing and remastering unauthorized access documentary, and a bunch of videos of the BBC Computer Literacy Project will be showing off too. And then on Sunday, I guess I am the opening act on Sunday, and then Jack Rubin is going to show the annual Family of 8 panel. We've got lunch. Alexander Pearson is showing us the Cactus 6502 homebrew. Beth Lynn Eicher's War Games versus Present Day. Grace Hopper show closes. So looks like a fun-filled event there at VCF Midwest. Who else on the panel is going to VCF Midwest right now? Handful of us going to be there. I know Grant's going to be there. Brian, were you thinking about going?
I'd like to try to, but I got a big trip for work right after that, so it's going to be a tough squeeze.
Okay. I know Grant's going to be there. I will be there. A bunch of Coco people are going to be there. Jim Brain's going to be there. I think Neil Blanchard and Jim O'Keefe are going to be there. John Mark Mobley from Glenside is going to be there. Not Glenn Hewlett, but Evan Wright is going to be there, author of Flood It for the Color Computer and his adventure game cross-development kit. So there's going to be a whole little block of Tandy tables all in one little section there. So there'll be a little nice Coco consortium at VCF Midwest, so we'll be representing the color computer there.
Cool. And just to channel Jim Brain, the highlight of the Sunday is going to be lunch.
And so Tandy Assembly, we've already kind of revealed last week that we've officially, it's been officially announced that Stuart Chaffee is the keynote speaker.
That'll be awesome.
That'll be awesome. So definitely looking to do that for our exhibitors right now. We've got Arno Pewter and Sasha, Ian Maverick, another Australian, Coco VGA, so Brendan's going to be there, Peter and Alex Satinsky, Jay Newworth of Newsoft, Thomas McLaren, an ultra rare Digital Dinos retail appearance. I know, as Digital Dinos a company that existed at some point in time or still does. Peter Bartlett and Malcolm Ramey. Peter makes a lot of stuff for the TRS-80 stuff, but I think he's working on some Coco stuff. Obviously, we know who Cloud9 is. Mark Marlette and Sandy Weimer will be there at Tandy Assembly. So that's good. That's November 10th and 11th in Springfield, Ohio. Is Tandy Assembly. So just on the heels of VCF Midwest, we are wrapping up the year. Tim Franklin says I'm multitasking. Chicago Bears won against Kansas City. Whoops, wrong button. This is the one we want. All right, go Bears. Go Bears. All right, so a little bit of events, a little bit of news. We got a little bit of all kinds of stuff here in the show. And we're coming up on just shy of 2 hours. So this is a medium length show, an average length show. What else have we missed, guys? What have we not talked about? Richard Lorbieski is here. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good. Crickets are here in your honor.
Cool.
How's Boomerang Mania treating you?
Boomerang Mania is still going.
Yeah.
It's not as active as it was, a few weeks ago, but it's still there.
We've got
them out.
We've got a promo spot we can run for you, courtesy of Rob Inman. Let's go ahead and run the Boomerang Mania promo spot here. I love those slow motion reactions. The Boomerang Accelerator Board.
Yeah. Not available ratings yet. Well, you go to one of the hobby USA stores, stateside, they have a little section of Radio Shack. Wired. That's about it.
I could hardly hear you over the music, Richard. Sorry.
That's okay. We can't hear the music at all here on the.
Oh, the music wasn't being shared. Oh, because Diego shared it. That's why you guys didn't know that was going on.
Yeah,
all right.
Share the screen. It stopped.
Okay. So the question was, will Stuart Chaffee be broadcast? And so I don't know. Number one, I can't confirm that I'm going to be at Tandy Assembly. I just don't know with the timing and the finances and transportation, whole 9 yards. I know at least I've got a snuggle buddy. I think Grant's already got a room reserved, so I'd have a place to crash, but I'm just not sure about either driving or flying there. Now, do they want this streamed? Does Stuart Chaffee want it streamed? Maybe he wants, maybe he wants to protect. I don't know that. I don't know what he wants. Personally, myself, I think I'd like to retire from being the stream bitch. I'm tired of streaming every event because I don't get to enjoy the events. So I have no plans to do any more things where I'm going to have a dedicated laptop and whole setup of streaming things because it just sucks the life out of me and it sucks the enjoyment out of being at these events. What I will do is, just do some handheld camera stuff and some little bits here and there and stuff like that. And I know there is a benefit and a service to people like Nick Marentes, who obviously Nick's not going to be able to fly from Australia to come to these things. But as much as it helps some, I think it's also enables others to say, hey, I don't need to go if I can just watch it. And honestly, these events, if they're not supported, they're not going to exist. So I want people to support these events too. And I'm just being tired of being a slave to a laptop and a camera and not really being able to enjoy myself. So after last year's Coco Fest, I said, listen, I'm not going to try to be a vendor and sell crap. I'm not going to try to stream. I'm not going to do anything. I don't get to fully enjoy these things. And I think Brian and I were having some chats on Discord about that. When you come to Coco Fest and these things, it is kind of like being at a family reunion, and it's just like, it's a cool place to hang out. And believe it or not, those 2 days, they go by real fast, and as much time as we had all planned as the CoCoTALK panel, it was the first time we were all in the same place at the same time. We had planned on doing group photo shots and trying to do this and trying to do that. It just never happened because there's so much to do in so little time. I don't want to sacrifice the time of being with my friends. and being stuck in front of that camera. It serves some benefit, but if I'm going to be selfish and say screw it, I want to enjoy these events. So I'll do limited recording, limited streaming, but it's not going to be like the whole event's going to be streamed 24/7. So
I can attest to that, because even just trying to man a booth, even if I was only doing part-time because we're sharing it between David and me and Grant, it's still hard to. You can't attend every seminar. You can't speak with some of your friends that you only get to see once a year. I mean, it's fine talking to everybody else too when they're coming to ask questions at the booth, but yeah, it's a little more business-like and a little less family reunion style at that point.
Yeah. Now somebody like Stuart Chaffee, this is kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I do have battery-operated cameras and tripods. I could just put a camera in the room and leave it on record, but we need to make sure that we have clearance to do that. He's got permissions. He's okay with that being done, and whatever. That might be worth setting up a laptop to live stream for, but I don't want to try to stream the whole event.
Yeah.
So Stevie, what's this deal? You said you have friends, and you and Curtis, what friends? I don't understand that.
Well, let's put it this way: none of us were put in the penalty box at Coco Fest, so
that's true.
So yeah, it is. You were at Tandy Assembly, Richard. That's the first time I met you last year, right? Mm-hmm. So, and you were busy as hell, right? So, I mean, it's nice that you're working, but sometimes when you're working, you don't get a chance to hang out, right?
Oh yeah. It was like that at Coco Fest. I didn't get to do anything. I was up to my neck in upgrades. So yeah, I'm gonna reevaluate my policy on upgrades at Tandy Assembly, and also Coco Fest if I go to it next year. Yeah, I'm just gonna, have a strict. Just do CPU upgrades only, and anything else I'll just take it home because like I said, after 15 CPU upgrades in one day and plus the repairs, I was just too exhausted.
Maybe people can pay a premium for an on-site upgrade, but you only take so many or something like that.
Well, I'm gonna probably do a appointment only, which will help, and if I can squeeze somebody in. But I want to see Stuart Chaffee. I'm thinking about doing my own talk on soldering techniques and things like that. Some
that would be interesting.
Like that, because I was also I was gonna do it this week, but next week I'll have pictures and stuff, because I was going to talk a lot about people trying to do their own CPU upgrades and why you shouldn't do it. And
does it involve soldering hair?
Yes. Yes, I have received 5 so far repairs involving people who thought they could do it themselves, and they didn't quite do a good job.
Yeah. So if nothing else, you need to know your limitations.
Right.
And I know that I know nothing about hardware, and I know nothing about soldering. So
me too.
Yeah. I would like to learn more. I believe it's within, I think most people, if given enough time, they could become fluent at things, but it takes practice. And it's like, this is like doing brain surgery. You don't want to do brain surgery for your first time on a living patient.
Right.
So work on some cadavers.
So do it on a Commodore 64 instead.
Well, I mean, actually the best thing to do is go down to Goodwill, get a bunch of junk boards, and start on those. Just
practice soldering and desoldering. Yeah.
Soldering. I mean, so if you screw them up, big deal.
Right. No risk.
Right.
So, yeah. So I am giving one presentation at VCF, and it'll be a half hour, and maybe I'll record that. Like I'll use my little handheld camera. I don't know if I want to stream, because I think I'm going to need to use my laptop to project my little PowerPoint. But I'll probably record it. Maybe I can get Grant to hold a phone and we can stream it from a phone or something. But it's just there's some good things to it, but it's also very draining, But yeah, I think these are good events, and I think the most important thing about coming to these events really should be the social component and just hanging out and bonding and chewing the fat with your comrades, Other than Richard Lorbieski, nobody's getting rich at these things, So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he quit his day job, didn't he?
Yeah. Exactly.
Far out. Have we beat this show to death? Is 2 hours is this a good episode for not having any content and that being extremely obvious? I think we did okay.
Well, it's the tail end of summer holidays too.
Yeah,
so.
stay tuned for the After Dark because Jim Brain is going to be doing his reports from the Red Rooster.
Is that a prostitution place? That's the Chicken Ranch, right? I know he's in Vegas and
Honey Ranch.
The Red Rooster is the swingers club. I don't know if it's still open or not, but yeah, it's. If you lived in Vegas, you know about the Red Rooster.
What is the name of the event that Jim Brain is at right now? He put it in Discord and I forgot.
I think it's called Convex. I think it's a Commodore.
Convex. It's a Commodore thing, huh?
It's a Commodore thing in Vegas, yeah.
Okay. All right.
We have
so
a
he's
on YouTube about maybe doing a short segment on basic soldering and upgrading.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
maybe even if you have to pre-record it or something, we can just play back the video. I don't know if it's practical to try to solder live or not.
I like Tim Franklin. He said, "Oh, what about next class on layers?"
So I don't know. I think Mark caught a lot of crap last week for that post in Facebook because he mentioned it on the show. He mentioned the 2 layers on the gimme, and then he posted something in Facebook, and I think the reaction was
laid into him.
The reactions was far from flattering, and I feel bad. And
ruthless would be the word I'd use.
Ruthless. Okay. So I would like to go on record to say, listen, I'm a nice guy, and I would not intentionally be cruel to anyone, but that's okay. I don't know if his understanding is a misunderstanding, or maybe he actually knows about something that we just haven't figured out. I don't know, but I will give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, it got kind of brutal
versus what actually ended up in the hardware, because we know that.
Yes,
quite a bit.
Yes, there were some less than polite remarks as that thread went down. I was like, wow. On the one hand, we're talking about raw community, but the first chance you get to stab somebody in the back, it's just like, get him, kick them while he's down. So it was kind of bad. So
soldering the demonstration, Richard can call for 2 volunteers from the audience, and he can solder them together. Or he can ask for a volunteer, hand him the iron by the tip, and say, "Never hold an iron this way."
Yeah. How's that meme go? If it smells like chicken, you're doing it wrong. So.
And don't clean off the soldering iron with your hair. I know that from experience.
Lord have mercy.
The Commodore thing is called Commodore Retro Expo, CRX, and it's happening. Right.
Okay, it's happening as we speak in Vegas, live from the Bunny Ranch. So Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but perhaps we'll get some correspondence, either live video or maybe just Jim calling in. So that means that we need to plan on a retro talk tonight. We don't know the exact time. We will stay tuned to the Discord channel. Mark just posted the link, crxevent.com. So yeah, stay tuned to the Discord channel. Let's see what time Jim Brain thinks. So usually we try to do a retro talk around 9 o'clock Florida time. Just based on who's here now, who is interested, willing, able. We have one show of hands. Mark Overhosel says yes. What I need you guys to do, though, is I need you guys to chime in on Discord, because last week it was like 10 minutes to 9 and nobody had said anything for hours about doing it after dark. So I'm like, nobody's interested. So, around 8 o'clock, if somebody says, yeah, I'm awake and I feel like doing it, post a little message in the CoCoTALK lobby on Discord saying, yeah, I'm cool for an after dark. So Mark Overholzer says yes. Diego, how about you?
Last week at 9, several of us were in Zoom chat waiting.
Ah, right.
I'll probably be there for a while.
William Carden says, Vegas, come for vacation, leave on probation. All right, so what happens here stays here. All right, so we're going to tentatively say we're going to try to do a retro talk after dark tonight. Hopefully we'll have Jim Brain on. Time to be determined, but tentatively 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is roughly 5 hours from now. So we're going to begin the closing ceremonies here on the 72nd episode of CoCoTALK. So let's say hello and thank you to everyone who's been in the live chat today. Curtis Boyle has been in the live chat. Nick Marotta. Did we hear from Nick Marotta today? I don't recall. Anybody hear from Nick Marotta today? Mark Overholzer was in the live chat. Tim Franklin last week said he recently recovered from open heart surgery, and he still joined us on CoCoTALK. I don't know if CoCoTALK is what made him have to get open heart surgery in the first place, so maybe apologies are in order. Mark Overholzer was visiting us last week from his daughter's wedding, dedicated, unlike Curtis Boyle, who came up with some lame excuse why he couldn't be on the show. Rob Inman's been here. We haven't heard from Nick Marotta this week at all, right? So Mark Overholzer, Tom C. from Jersey, still waiting to hear from Nick Marotta. Rob Inman, there's Nick Marotta. Yay. Tim Franklin was here. Diego was here in the live chat. Jason the Coco Man, who was here, who could not make it due to bandwidth. So Rob Inman, Nick Marotta, Coco Tower, that's Roger Taylor himself, Tom C., Coco Man, Mark Overholzer, Richard Lorbieski, Nick Marotta, Mark Overholzer, Curtis Boyle, Dwayne Folan says, am I allowed to ask what this series is? And I believe we answered him. Yes, we were talking about the color computer and things that old white guys talk about, apparently. Mark Overholzer, Legendary Gamer, came in and said, trash. Who knows what the hell he's talking about. Nick Marotta, Dave Phillipson was with us for a bit and had to go. Grant Leedy was with us for a bit and said, sorry guys, but Richard Lorbieski's products are making me sick. I've got to leave. He had to pull one of these. Oops, one of these here. There you go. Nick Marotta was here. Mark Overholzer. Bill Noble stopped in and said, hey guys. Alexander Wallace was here. Nick Marotta was here. Paul Barton stopped by. I think Nick Marotta, David Ladd made a presence and said, hello, everyone. Fartwhiff. We had somebody named Fartwhiff stop by. Hey, Fartwhiff. Tim Franklin was here. Kyle has been here. Kyle, how do I pronounce your name? Is it Eater or Etter or Ater? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Wayne Aaron says, hey, I'm running late again. Too many projects around the house. But at least Wayne Aaron isn't at Sam's Club today. With us in the panel, we have L. Curtis Boyle, Mark D. Overholzer, Brian Wiesler, James Diffendaffer, Richard Lorbieski, Al Hartman, Nick Marentes, Diego, Bruce Moore. No longer with us on the call was Grant Leedy, and David Phillipson was with us, and I don't remember who else was here. But we're going to start phase 1 of the CoCoTALK outro, so think of your closing comments, and we'll be back here in just a minute, folks.
This concludes another episode of CoCoTALK, the world's leading live talk show featuring the Tandy Color Computer. For all things CoCoTALK, visit us on the web at CoCoTALK.live. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to CoCoTALK@CoCoTALK.live. If you love the color computer like we do, then visit IMACoconut.com for all your color computer links needs. Consider supporting the show with a purchase of merchandise from our retro swag shop at 8bit256.com. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, visit the Patreon link on our site at CoCoTALK.live. CoCoTALK would not exist without the community and its cast and crew. Thanks go to Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Mark Overholzer, Grant Leedy, Bruce Moore, Nick Marentes, Ron Delvaux, Rick Adams, Jason Reichert, Richard Lorbieski, Jim Brain, Karen Anscombe, Simon Jonason, Wayne Campbell,
There's
Steve
Diego.
Batson, Brian Joyce, John Strong, and Barry Nelson. Special thanks to Steve Bjork for production suggestions and Brian Joyce for our best of episodes and bonus content. Please help support the CoCo community by visiting some of its contributors. The CoCo Crew podcast at CoCoCrew.org. Glenside Color Computer Club, host of CoCo Fest at GlensideCCC.com. Jim Brain and Retro Innovations at Go4Retro.com. Tandy Assembly at TandyAssembly.com. Boyson Technologies at BOYSONTech.com. Get your own switcheroo at cocoman.biz and Cloud9 Technologies at cloud9tech.com. CoCoTALK is hosted by Steve Strobridge, co-hosts, technical directors, segment hosts, and producers Curtis Boyle, David Ladd, Grant Leedy, Mark Overholzer, Ron Delvaux, and Jason Reichert. Production motivation, Steve Bjork. The CoCoTALK theme song is copyright 2008 by D. Bruce Moore and Greg Shillar. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore. CoCo forever, people. And let's not forget a very special thank you to Roger Taylor for getting us on the CoCo TV channel on Roku.
There's some old white guys.
This show is pretty much all old white guys.
Yep. But hey, we don't racially profile. We'd let any old guy of any color on the show if necessary. You just got to be old. So Kyle says it's Kyle Etter. It sounds like a D, not a T. Kyle Etter, who's also a recent patron of the show. Thank you, Kyle. Production motivation. Fart whiff.
I'll puke to that.
Yeah. So, Mark, you were speculating that maybe Fart Whiff was trolling, but we've been trolled by the best. We've been trolled by Jim Brain. So, accept no imitation. We've got Troll Senior, we've got the Master, we've got his Padawan, Richard Lorbieski, Troll Junior's here, but we've got some of the best.
With that sexy girl troll earlier, too.
Yeah, we've got some of the best in the industry. So, Fart Whiff, you are no match for the veteran trolls that we have on this show here. Production motivation by Fart Whiff.
Yeah, he needs to log off or he might get grounded.
Here we go. I'm going to dedicate this episode. The closing title here is going to be Fart Whiff. There you go. So your name has been immortalized right here. So Fart Whiff is here on screen. Fart Whiff is what we will call this episode. Fart Whiff. Yeah, we got to. I don't even know what we would call this episode. Maybe we won't give it a title. It's just episode 72. Hot Air. Yes, the show about nothing. So
the Seinfeld episode, yeah.
The Seinfeld episode. We had somewhere in the neighborhood of 27, 28 people simultaneously watching us in the multiverse. So thank you all who watched us. For those of you who watched us, hopefully we'll be back tonight with more hot air, maybe some more fart whiffing, and hopefully some Commodore, Comdex, Vegas type stuff with strippers and prostitutes. And maybe a topic. Yeah, let's not push it. Not push it.
Well, Commodore stuff and fart whiffing is the same thing, isn't it?
Mode 64.
That harkens back to the old 80s.
Episode 72. Take a whiff is what Rob says. There we go. All right. That's the winner. Take a whiff of this. All right. The Dutch oven episode. All right. So let's hear some post closing credits here. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, this is Antonio Jimenez, author of such projects such as the Stevie Throw Devil and the SD Pack, and you're watching CoCoTALK in 3, 2, go.
I'm behind you making faces.
Okay.
Do you have a script?
You're rolling, Curtis. You say whatever the hell you want to say.
Well, give me some kind of guideline.
Hi, this is Curtis Boyle.
Hey, this is Eric, and you're listening to CoCoTALK.
All right, we're rolling. You say whatever you want to say, David.
Keep making faces at him.
Nation, world's leading weekly candy computer. Something like that.
Hi, I'm Tim. Playing Daggerith like that idiot from the book. You're watching CoCoTALK.
Thank you, David. Now get back up there for 1 second.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
What?
Let's get some DriveWire, TTL, ESP.
No, we don't need any DriveWire or TTL. Hi, it's Curtis Boyle, part of the CoCoTALK crew of people.
Hi, we're on Elbow Timberman. To experience Coco Fest, you must come. I brought the only working MC-10. I could not get. Couldn't get a grant. By certain someone you know. Oh well.
The world's leading weekly CoCoTALK show. Yeah, something like that.
Hi, this is Rick Adams, and I'm the author of Temple of Brahm, Shanghai, and now Bomb Threat, and you're listening to Stephen Stroh on CoCoTALK.
Yeah, Rick was with us earlier too.
MPI, floppy drive, Coco SDC, Sound Speech Pack, Orchestra 90, RS-232 Pack, Modem Pack, Super IDE. You start adding all those together if you want them all usable at the same time. Well, guess what? You just went over the 4-slot MPI.
There we go. And whatever you do not go over the 4-slot MPI. Yeah, Fart Whiff, we have decided to name this episode after you. Fart Whiff just came back. All right, so thank you, Fart Whiff, for being here. Thank you for giving us the inspiration, like what we were talking about earlier, when you have a piece of artwork and some cover art, how that inspires you to make your game. Well, Fart Whiff has basically inspired this entire episode. So thank you for that inspiration. It's been great. Look forward to a Retro Talk after dark tonight, tentatively 9 p.m., but that time might change. If you're not already on Discord, you might want to check out the CoCoTALK Discord channel, and we'll post some stuff in the CoCoTALK lobby, hopefully as we hear from Jim. And we'll be back, guys.
Before we go?
Yes, James.
Brian Wiesler posted in the Zoom group chat. He said, can Nick give a plug to where people can get his games?
Nick, do you want to plug where to get your games?
Okay. The problem. Well, you can get them directly from me. There is a website that I talk about, Popstar Pilot, and it shows where we can get it. But it may be better now for people in America anyway to just get them from Steve's connection. What's your link to that site?
It's the Retro Swag Shop, 8bit256.com.
You might want to put a plug for that because that might be quicker for people.
Right. When you go to the Swag Shop, one of the links says DVDs and software. And so the same link where you can order like my gameplay DVDs and the CoCoTALK DVDs, at the bottom of that page is a link to get Popstar Pilot in a DVD case. The actual disc is a CD-ROM, but it's in a DVD case, and that's the same. It's basically the same packaging Nick made, except it's a one sheet instead of a folded thing, and it's shrink wrapped the whole 9 yards. So you can order it from there, and then that'll ship anywhere in the world. And I think what you were saying last week, Nick, that people didn't understand, because I think Al was not following you too. What you were trying to say was it would be quicker to order it from there than to order it from you, because of mailing outside of Australia would take longer.
That's right. Al, it only took about, 2-3 days for delivery for Al?
I ordered on Saturday, which meant it probably shipped on Monday, and I received it on Friday.
There you go. So you got it within a week.
Whereas ordering
nice package, professionally done. The CD was not a paper label stuck on a recordable CD. It was a really nice, professionally printed CD. So it was actually printed. The label was printed onto the CD, and there's a lot of great content on there. Besides the game, there's the Coco Fest video. And then there are every one of Nick's previous games for the Coco, and with manuals. So it's all very nicely done.
So I might do a Facebook page or entry that describes that better, because that might be better for people.
Yeah, and I think.
And there are pictures on the site where you order it that has pictures of the inside of the package.
Right. I'm going to pull that up right now. I'm going to show you guys the Retro Swag Shop, because if you haven't been here, you're missing out. So here's the Retro Swag Shop, 8bit256.com, right? And so when you click on T-shirts and mugs, that should be pretty self-explanatory, right? T-shirts and mugs, right? Your shirts and your coffee mugs. If you go to DVDs and software, that takes you to a link where it says click here to order DVDs. This also has a link where you can order Bomb Threat on CD straight from Rick. This has got a link to Forest of Doom and a link to contact Timberman to get that. But I really should put a separate link on this page here that would link to, I'm going to do that after the show, but I'm going to put a picture of Popstar Pilot and then link it. But where that link would take you is if you say click here to order DVDs, here's a couple of different DVDs. So here's 2 of my color computer gameplay videos, and here's Popstar Pilot. And so if we were to click on that, it will come up, and like Al was saying, you can see a picture of it. So this is the front of the case where you can see. If you hit rotate case, you can see the back of the case. And I think if you hit rotate again, you can see the sidebar. This is what the CD looks like. This is your little insert. So yeah, it's a very nice, it's basically it's the same package that Nick created. The only thing Nick did differently is instead of it being one card on the inside, he has a little mini booklet that folds up. And so
and that booklet is on the CD anyway, so anyone wants it can print it out.
Right. So the versions you got from Nick, he actually produced them himself. So those are hand produced by the master, forged in the flames of retro. These are mass produced by a company that does this. So this is all machine generated. But yeah, the quality of like Al was saying, the printing of the CD on the label, very good quality of all that kind of stuff.
That means you should buy one of each, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you should get one of each, so you've got all the variants of that. So this is $20 plus shipping, and I just need to remember to pay that money to Nick when it comes in. I don't see the money for like a month, so remind me to pay you again, Nick, when that comes in.
Hey, you need to pay Nick.
So yeah,
So,
if you want an original. If you want an original made by the author, smelling like a kangaroo's backside, buy it from me.
And written in crayon too.
That's right. It'll take about 2 weeks for delivery, though. Otherwise, if you want it a bit quicker, order the one from the swag shop. It'll come a bit quicker. It won't have the smell of kangaroo's ass. So people can choose. Whichever way they prefer,
and it looks like right now it looks like there's free shipping on the T-shirt side of the swag shop.
Wow!
So there's a code where you can get, for the next 11 days, you can get free standard shipping if you spend $40 or more. So if you click on redeem, here's the code FST3. So if you want to get a T-shirt, now's the time. I haven't really plugged this too much, but I'll go ahead and click on this real quick here too. This is a poster I created, and you can get it one of two sizes: 8 inches by 12 inches. That's what she said, or 24 by 36. Now, what you won't see here too clearly is that they intentionally kind of blur the images. But these are 3 different cards that were autographed by the attendees of CoCoFest this year. And this is a high-resolution scans of those autographs. And they're all slightly different. And not all names appear on all 3 of them. And then here's the logo that Ron Delvaux created. And then here's the little CoCoTalk logo. So there's like a little poster of the autographs of everybody who attended CoCoFest this year. So you can get that as a poster. I plan on doing also some deluxe editions of the Best of CoCoTalk that will have high-res scans of these autographs. So there will be signed copies of the Best of CoCoTalk available in the near future. I've just been too busy / lazy to update that on the website. But that'll be coming soon too. So yeah, good segue and nice way to kind of plug the swag shop there. But that's one way to get Popstar Pilot.
That's right. Does that mean we have to go through the closing credits again?
Nah, I think we beat this one to death.
Oh shoot!
We should probably take your Popstar Pilot commercial and put that in the rotations too, in the CoCoTalk commercial playlist.
I'll update my website to describe your link more, because I'm probably concentrating now on my Gunstar. I'll probably have less time to devote to Popstar Pilot manufacturing. So we're trying to move production to the US.
There you go.
There you go.
It will still ship. It'll still ship internationally, though.
It'll still ship internationally. If anyone really wants to buy a kangaroo's ass-smelling version, they can still order from me. But I'm just thinking it's
Smell-o-vision.
That's right. I mean, I do support anyone who buys a copy from me automatically gets a copy of the game and the manual via email straight away, so they can play it, almost instantly after they pay. They just have to wait 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, for the actual physical copy, which has all the rest of the material. But we can do the same thing with yours as well. Anyone who buys from the US distribution, well, if they can talk to me, and I don't know, we need some proof that is the case, I guess. I can email them the disc if they.
Right. You know what we should probably do too, because you've updated Pac-Man to 1.1. Maybe we should update the ISO file, and I can I could remaster the image that gets produced, and so if anybody buys a new one, they'll get Pac-Man 1.1 on there. Maybe
can work on that.
Not the end of the world.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we beat this one to death, but hopefully in about 4.5, 5 hours, we might be back on the air with some red light district Commodore footage and who knows what else. There you go. Dan Shepard. Dan Shepard said arse smell is an upgrade. That's the deluxe edition.
That's the box set.
And to honor this episode, we're renaming Pop Star Pilot Poop Star Pilot.
Poop Star Pilot.
The box set comes with the original kangaroo shit.
Yeah, package. It's instead of using like popcorn peanuts, they'll wrap it in dried kangaroo dung, so it'll remain safe in shipping and have that fresh kangaroo crap smell when you open it up.
It also helps prevent thieves.
This is a very appropriate way to end the show. Who was that guy? Who was that guy that was in the chat that you said? Oh, fart whiff. Yeah,
fart whiff.
The fart whiff edition.
I nominate kangaroo crap as the replacement.
Kangaroo crap. I don't even know how to spell that, but we're going to sign off with that right now. Kangaroo. Is there 2 O's at the end of kangaroo?
You need a boomerang and a switcheroo as the perfect companion.
There you go. So
kangaroo crap.
We now sign off with kangaroo crap. All right, guys. CoCoTALK episode 71 is ready to take its final dump. We are out of here.
No, it's 72.
72, 71. Who's
that was
counting,
another
right?
Poop Star Pilot shipping that sound effect.
Well, I think this show's gone to the toilet. So
Dan Shepard says, what a shitey way to end the show. Yes, it is. All right. We're out of here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later on tonight. Bye-bye, everybody. Say goodbye, everybody.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye to Nick Marotta.
Say goodbye, Nick.
Take care. And we must not forget that Rick Adams was on the show with us earlier, too.
Don't forget Rick Adams was on the show.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Thank you.
Hey,
You're too kind.
And Stevie, don't forget to pay Nick.
Don't forget to pay Nick. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. We're signing off.